don't you keep it to yourself for once? Oh, I think I found a new way out, way beyond your shadow doubt, and I can't breathe. Oh, I hope you're keeping count of all the times you let me down, and all the things you said out loud, the bullshit I could cry about. And I know we could be stronger now, and leave it up to fate somehow. But everything I do for me.
I get lost sometimes and I can't seem to find a light between the walls I built for myself right in my mind. And then you came over and you showed me love that I never had seen before. And now when I got you, it's all gonna be alright. Thinking about all the things we did tonight.
To know Getting hype when I aim up. Elevating that game up. Stepping up to the competition. Only first place, and that's how I'm living. I'm with it till they digging up my grave. Eating all the things up on my plate. Game face when I step up into place. I was born and when I watched me elevate. I was born and when I watched me elevate. All in when I show up. Whole place about to blow up. Superior to that competition. I'm in first place, yeah, that's how I'm living. I'm with it till they digging up my grave. Eating all the things up on my plate. Game face when I step up into place. I was born and when I watched me elevate. When I watch me elevate. I was born and when I watch me elevate.
Do we now have sound? Still nothing, just quiet now.
Oh God, there we go. We should have sound now.
What have you done?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to SimPlay Motorsport. I'm an idiot.
You had it on mute on the interact bit, didn't you?
I did, yes.
Yeah,
Oh God.
Right, so where should they be coming loud? Right, about the start line, so let's wait and see.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure because I've got desk audio noise now. I've got all that available to me. So, hi guys.
We're live! It's funny that I can hear us! We're live!
Welcome to an unorthodox stream. This is how it all happens. Oh my God.
Oh. Brilliant.
Matt, do you have to go away?
Yeah, unfortunately I've got to go and work. Right, good evening. Home of the British roller coaster. Dan's good looking. Donington Park this weekend. We've quickly recapped what you've missed.
I mean, we still got 4 minutes of pre-practice, so it's all right. It's a good thing we've done this now.
It is. It really is, isn't it? Let's quickly get into the championship standings then. As you may have seen at the end of the highlights video, it's Holty who leads the way. He's got a 64-point gap over the likes of Shane. At the moment, it is one hand on the title, and the title can be wrapped up tonight depending on what happens in tonight's racing. Argent not here for race 1, trying to get race 2. He is currently 3rd place, only just ahead of the Green Wolfinator, who looks...
Headset, Matt.
This is going really well. Pepe is P5 at the moment. Will mathematically be out the running, as can everybody tonight. Holty can win the championship. Those who are out the running, Kelly P6. Not a million miles away from Pepe, but he is some 32 points. It's doable. Can he get into that top 5? Daz Automatic might be here for race 2 as well. He is on 203. PN Motorsport on 189. He's back this week. Great to see. Smithy on 162. 2 points out of Stealth Sloth. No Smithy at the moment either. He is busy. I think he's currently in the middle of moving house or starting to move house. So we're missing Smithy tonight. Bryn, hopefully he stays in. He's having internet problems. He hopes to stay in for the whole session. He is P11. DJ Phil is P12, only 6 points behind him. Dean Wasaki, the man on screen at the moment, is P13 with Louis Allen in 14th place. Welshie then down in 15th place with Leon Fernie 16th, Dennis Newman 17th, and the Hitman in P18. Great to see the Hitman back out on track tonight. A&H Motorsport then last week wrapped up the Constructors' Championship. They are some 2 points clear, are 198 points clear of Tickle Pink Motorsport. The Tickle Pink team cannot win it. It is job done for A&H Motorsport. East and West are in a battle though for 3rd place, some 50 points behind, but are in a good scrap with Tickle Pink for this Constructors battle here. Audio Sport P4, they're not a million miles away, they're 3 behind East West Motorsport. So again, a top 3 position for Audio Sport could be crucial, and with only one driver from each team here tonight, that could be pivotal at the moment. The Austrian Racing Club leading the Independence Championship at the moment. That is of Green Wolfinator. They also are leading over MC Motorsport, who are 6th place. Racing Group, the other independent, 2nd in that, 7th place overall, with That's a Good One racing the DJ Phil and Leon Fernie. Leon Fernie not yet here either in P8. Dean Wasaki P3 in the Independence Championship for the Lone Ranger Racing, but Team Oro Titan of Louis Allen's Honda is only 5 points behind, and then it's the 2JW Racing Esports Independents of the Audi and the Aston Martin P11 and 12. We've had a catch-up. Dan, good evening. How are you?
I'm better now that the things are running smoothly as they should. And again, I massively apologise to the guys in the chat. Like I said, it's the first time properly doing it with all the highlights and all that stuff like that. So yeah, it's all new to me and stuff that I need to learn. But either way, we will get the hang of it. Tomorrow, I will promise you, for the pros, should be smooth and easy. But breathe now, breathe.
Yeah,
get me to Derbyshire, Derby, fucking, in the middle of the track, and alcohol in my hand. You know, feet back and relax. I'm stressed. But hey, we're racing here in Brands, another great British circuit, and as you called it, the British roller coaster, I believe, or something along that.
Yeah.
I hate this track, man. I hate it.
Yeah, I'm not a massive lover of it. As we said, which no one heard, we've done 4 hours of it, and for half of us, it went really well. For the other half, it didn't. But it was a good experience and a good chance for us to sort of... We've got a good in-depth in this tonight, not only on ACC, but of this circuit, of these cars. You know the McLaren well, and I knew the Bentley well from the 4 hours around here. it's given us a chance tonight to maybe criticise people or give them some positives on their driving.
Definitely so. And, well, me and you both obviously qualified in a very, very high-quality field, let's put it that way, of the 40 drivers, roughly. And I qualified 19th, and I think you qualified...
19th. We had a poor qualifying. Yeah, we 36th. And you finished 12th, and we finished 34th. But only because the game screwed us, which is unfortunate. But it's one of them things. We was running quite high up in the session. We was running in the top 20s, I think it was. And yeah, it was a shame. Either
way, I was in a car that I don't ever drive, which was the McLaren, the 720S. And by all things said and gone, it's meant to be the best car around here. And at the minute, there is the McLaren 720S at the top of the tables with Green Wolfinator leading the way. And going into qualifying, obviously, Matt, with only 12 cars on the grid, the thing I was going to say is traffic was going to be the main thing around here. Traffic, as we are now going into qualifying. It's all about getting some clear space and making sure that you can nail the lap. And if you were going into this qualifying session or watching it as a fan, who's your pick for pole?
My pick for pole, looking at that, is got to be Wolfinator. I know how good this McLaren can be around here. I'm going to pick him for pole. We hope to get Leon Smithy and Welshie, and Daz says he might be in for race 2 due to work. Kieran's missing the first race. But so I'm going to go Wolfinator. I think Shane and Holty have got good pace, but I think that McLaren is just outstanding. Holty is the first man out on track. Dan, yourself for pole?
Yeah, I'm just going to have to go the same as you. I'm going to say Wolfinator. But anyone else who's in a McLaren, so KLF or even Phil, could have an opportunity tonight where things could be good for them, especially in this car, but it's also making sure you don't get up in any incidences or troubles. And also, I don't believe do we have any drivers on a qualifying ban here tonight?
None tonight, no. None tonight.
So everybody can go out on track.
We do have Lamborghini in race 1, I do believe. Let me just double check. Yes, in race 1, because there are 2 Lamborghinis. In fact, there's 3 on the track. Lamborghini will make its 700th race start in GT3 format here at SimPlay Motorsport. That is across ACC and Project Cars 2 in any competitive manner we have raced. Lamborghini will make its 700th race start here in Pro-Am, so that is good to go.
Sweet. And I helped with that, and so has Overtaken, and so has many others.
Yeah,
absolutely brilliant. And I'm currently on board with Wolfinator. He's obviously had to go back to the pits. This is like I said, Matt's obviously got one end of the view and I've got another view. Sadly, it's not like Project Cars where one person has to watch one or the other view. We're all looking at different things. But right now, no one sets a lap time, but the first car to possibly set a lap time is Holty and his championship rival, Shane. And both of them are following each other one by one. And the thing around this track, Matt, if you were to give advice to drivers to try and nail the circuit, what would you say
for qualifying?
Yes.
For qualifying, back off. Shane, for me, is a little too close to that Bentley at the moment. I'd say to Shane, give yourself a bit of breathing room, give yourself a bit of space. The track is narrow, it's up, it's down, there's not really a space. Bar Hawthorne Hill, where you come off of out of Surtees onto the GP part of it, down Hawthorne's, there's not really a good section of straight. This might be the second best option of straight towards the final corner. For me, Shane just needs to back off a little bit, get out that dirty air, give himself as good a clean run as possible. As Holty comes to the line, will be the first man to set a lap time. Shane behind is on a valid lap. Here comes Holty, goes and does a 26. Shane goes and finds himself 4/10 quicker. Next car on a valid lap is PM Motorsport. What would your advice be, Dan?
I think trusting the engine braking, I think, is one of the key things. I think when you go around here, it's very easy to get on the power as soon as possible. I found that especially with the McLaren, you just feed your way into the session, get yourself into a comfortable rhythm, and just find where the limits are. Don't be afraid to touch some of the curbs. He might be able to might be able to run the curbs a little bit more than other tracks. But here, it's all about really being patient and looking after the car and making sure the tyres are in a happy window. As KLF, I've just seen, goes to P6, as Holty, I believe, will be the next man once again to set a lap time. But I think it's just all about being patient, let the tyres get into the right window, even if it means an extra lap. Just let the car get into its window, get into its comfort zone, and then nail it either on the second or the third lap. Really flirt with the curbs.
I think you're right. And for Daz, I don't think he expected to be in this early. He said he might be in halfway through race one, so it's great to see, especially for that Constructors' Championship of the top three. Daz in the session nice and early. That is great to see. Here comes Holty then into the final corner, and he's going to complete his second run of the evening as he comes down the start straight. Then it is Holty, currently 4/10 slower than Shane, his title rival, and now goes 7/10 quicker. What about Shane, who did back off this lap? No improvement for him. Wolfenator on an invalid one, car 34. That is Louis Allen. He's on an invalidated lap. The car behind is car 66. PN, who's currently P2, but gets it on the Clearways gravel on the outside. That could have compromised him a tenth or two. Just coming through there, he's going to cross the line. No improvement. Dean Wasocki, the next man, who is 4.1 down, only a 900ths quicker than Stove. Sloth gets a massive improvement, goes above Kelly. Great lap time there from Dean. Car 57 to the line of Pepe, who does improve and goes P3.
Excuse me, I'm just choking at the minute. I'm good.
Right? Yeah, good.
Yeah, good. I'm good, I think. Excuse me. Sloth across the line and going P8. Who's next to come towards the line? No one really on a battered lap, bar Shane, who's in the middle sector in the pink Lamborghini. I'm intrigued to see how this car gets on here. I've done absolutely zilch practice for this at all.
Nice.
I think 4 hours of 4 hours of driving around here was enough for me to kind of get an idea of what things do around here. But obviously in a completely different car. The man to keep an eye on, I think Shane might have just pushed the limits on this one and is just struggling. Wolfenator is the next one to keep an eye on. He's just behind Shane as they both come into the final sector of the track. And Shane into the final corner. That corner, you think you can take a lot more speed than you actually can. But Shane towards the line, what's he going to do? He's currently in P2 and no improvement. Wolfenator next to the line. He's P9. Where's he going to put him? Top of the table, 24.8.
Yep, Louis Allen then in his Honda. The Honda actually the weakest car for this circuit on a track guide. Me and Dan are favoured of watching, and only goes into P6. Car 66 next up, a PM Motorsport. He slightly improves his lap time, but nothing too major. Hitman back after a week's break. He comes to the line now and improves a little bit to go P5. Dean stopped at the end of the pit lane as he's letting the traffic go, as the rules state. So well done, Dean, for that one. Stove Sloth next to the line is coming up to do his lap time. What's his pace going to be here? And he does improve, but doesn't change his position overall. Bryn on a lap. DJ Phil's not qualifying here. Not sure why.
Yeah, I'm not sure why either, but either way, if he wants to start at the back of the pack, then fair play to him. Bryn to the line. He's not set a lap time, and I think, Matt, I think Holty has changed his wheel colours to gold, I believe, from what I've seen on this car.
Yes, it looks like he has. Yeah, I think you're right, 'cause I think they was orange or red to match his roof. They are gold, obviously the constructors' winner of A&H Motorsport. Daz Automatic to the line for his first lap, puts him P10 on a bit of a warm-up. Wolfenator next to cross the line. I wonder if Holty, when he wins if he wins the title tonight, will he run a green livery for a gold livery for next week, maybe?
Possibly so, who knows? But the Constructors is in the bag. Wolfenator, no improvement, stays where he is. Number 34, that was Louis again, coming to the end of his lap. In the lawnmower, towards the start-finish line he comes, and he goes P5, 2 seconds off the pace, so he's starting to get further up the field. Man's keeping up. PN just puts in a cracker there, he goes P5. KLF is a man to keep an eye on as well.
Hitman to the line, no improvement from him. Car 57's coming round, that's Pepe. He's on an invalid lap time. It's KLF, then the next man to cross the line. Only needs 2 tenths to go ahead of Daz. A couple of tenths, could really see him up the order though a little bit. Dean Wasocki's in the pits. He can get out, as can Holty, and DJ Phil and Stealth will get out for one final lap here. And I believe Dean has just come out on track. Yes, he has. As Kelly crosses the line, does find a couple of tenths, finds a bit more than that. And he's now just off the back of Bryn, who's the next man to the line. Can Bryn improve any? He comes to the line. No improvement for him. Next car, Daz Automatic.
is indeed into the final corner. Daz comes. Currently P11 at the minute. One warm-up lap done and dusted. Now on to his final laps here, and he comes towards the line. Daz goes up to P6. He's now within 2 seconds of the leaders. Shane next to cross the line, 1.4 at the minute. He just needs to tidy his lap, and he can go a little bit faster towards the line. Does he improve? No, he stays where he is.
He does indeed. Wolfinator, though, does he improve? No, he also stays where he is. Holty is done. Daz is done. DJ Phil is done. Stealth Sloth is done. Car 34, that is Louis Allen. He will get one more run in before Car 66. PN has bailed, Dan, so it is down to the hitman now.
It is, and I believe KLF is still on a lap, so is the number 7 of Bryn as well. So keep an eye on for those two. I believe Kelly's on a...
Hitman's gone P3. He's gone above Shane. He's gone into P3.
So Shane's going to have to react to try and work his way up the order. So Hitman's got one more lap still in him, obviously. So he's going round again. KLF into the final corner. As it's been a much tidier and better lap from him. Currently P10. Not what we're used to seeing Kelly at all. Can he find that couple of, at least 8 tenths will jump him up behind PM Motorsport? He goes P5.
He's gone 5th. What a lap. Bryn's drifting through clearways and Clark Curve. He should just get to the line maybe for one final run. It's going to be very tight. He does cross the line for one final run, meaning the first guy to finish qualifying will be Shane.
It will be Shane. His championship hopes are slowly fading away. He needs to do something here and now. And right now, he needs to out-qualify not just Holty, but he needs to out-qualify Green Wolfmate. Have a car between him and Holty towards the line. He goes P3, a 10th off of Holty.
Just noticed that the Wolfinator has finished, and Kelly, Dan, was stopped on track middle sector, so he is done. 666 of Hitman has invalidated his lap. Daz has also invalidated his lap. The next man set a valid lap then, as they're all coming to the end, is Dean Wasocki. So Dean Wasocki at the minute on an absolute flyer. Can he improve on his lap time?
Can he indeed? That is the question. He goes over the curb and goes a little bit wide, and that is it. Session over for Dean Wasocki, and he will have to start P11. DJ Phil not setting a lap time, so lucky 13 cars, and we're about to go racing very shortly. But Matt, Wolfinator did what he was supposed to do. He put it on pole with the McLaren, looking strong. Kaylee put in a decent lap towards the end, but PN Motorsport, that's an impressive lap time as well from him, up in the P6.
It really is an impressive lap time from him. Kelly as well. Shane had to work hard for it at the end of that one because he was struggling just towards the end. And that could have been an absolute disaster if he didn't get himself next to Holty on the grid. 12 starters, so we've just actually lost a runner, I do believe. I think that I'm sure we had 13 qualify. Just taking a look at the qualifying order.
Daz.
We've lost Daz. So hopefully Daz can get back in. And I'm sure it will slot him. He is. He's in. And it's put him now to the back of the grid. That's a shame for Daz. But either way, he is back into the session and he's back into the race, and this will be good for him to at least get some experience. Dan, race winner from yourself?
Wolfinator.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm going to go Holty. I feel Holty's possibly got the pace here. So we'll see.
Like you said, Matt, earlier on, I've done 4 hours of driving in that McLaren, and I think it's going to take a lot for someone to... We've got to pass Wolfinator first.
Yeah.
But we know how difficult that is around Brands. We just did Zolder, one of the hardest, and now we come to Brands, which is possibly even harder again.
Yeah, luckily enough, the last race of the season is Misano, which is a little easier. It's a little wider to overtake, so should be a good one for the drivers. 10 seconds to ready up. Daz will be starting then from the back of the grid. That is a shame for him in this one. Get your votes in the chat for who you think will be winning race one. If you disagree with what is in the chat, just make sure you comment who you think is going to race one. While you are there in the chat, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. And we can't wait to know. DJ Phil was doing a new setup, he says in the chat.
Let's get to a 25 likes. So those 23 are watching. Let's get as many people in here as we possibly can. Let's get to that 25 as we are about to go racing here at Brands, as we are about to get things underway. Penultimate round of the season is going down to the wire. Holty versus Shane. Who's going to come out on top? Matt, take us away for the start of this race.
As they come to the line then, it is going to be for round 17 this season. Green and go for race 1 here tonight at Brands Hatch. It's round 17 overall, and it's a good start from Wolfenator and of that of Holty, who all took in nicely. Shane and Hitman. There's a car off in the background. That is car 32 with Dean Wisocki, who has caught the gravel trap. That's unfortunate for him. Holty now up the inside at Druids. Bit of a tap for Shane and Hitman on the rear then. And as they come down through Druids, Holty leads from Wolfenator. Shane stays ahead of Hitman with Kelly P5. Bryn has got past Louis Allen for P7. Bryn's up from 9th to 7th. And now is having a look on the back of Kelly as Hitman's looking on the back of his teammate. Hitman tucks in behind, doesn't think of doing it there, although he's got actually a bit of a run. So is Bryn on that inside of KLF, and the Lamborghini just tucking underneath Kelly. Louis Allen's trying to follow through. Look at the straight line speed of Shane, pulling ahead of that Lamborghini, that Aston Martin to keep it in front. And Kelly and Bryn side by side into Hawthorns. Bryn around the outside. Thank you, Mama, for the carrots.
Yeah, Bryn's got the job done there. Kelly's just looking like he's just trying to get his car into his window. Getting the tyres, the brakes right in the right temperature and pressure. As Holty still leads the way, but Green Wolfenator is hunting him down. He's not letting him disappear that easy. As Shane has cleared Hitman, but we know for a fact that Aston Martin should be relatively good round here. And Pepe and Hitman should be in a decent race car. May not be the fastest, but it's a decent race car. Meanwhile, Pepe in the other Aston is harassing the back of the Honda of Louis.
From what we know about these cars, Bentley 4th best choice, Aston 3rd best choice, Ferrari 2nd best choice, McLaren best choice. Don't really know anything about the Lamborghini, and as for the Honda, it wasn't very recommended, as Daz Automatic is now putting pressure on the back of Louis Allen just up front. As we go to Wolfenator then, into Druids, tucks in behind, Shane gaining on these Gagler cars, saw Kelly through Paddock Hill have a bit of a slide as we was on board Daz Automatic and Louis Allen. He's now got Louis all over the back of him with Daz, Pepe and PN hopefully trying to catch in the background. A good gaggle of cars here, all behind KLF, who's just gapped them slightly through Paddock Hill Bend down to DJ Phil. He's trying to get on the back of Dean Wisocki for 11th and 12th place. But once again, this mid-pack is congested as always.
Yeah, there seems to be a yo-yo effect at the minute between Shane and Wolfenator. 1 minute, Wolfenator's really close to the back of Holty. Next minute, he's in the clutches of Shane. But in this middle sector, that McLaren is set to work. Downforce working at its best and right on the back of the Bentley of Holty, who's going to be having some serious pressure now from the McLaren driver of Wolfenator. And look at that Bentley take towards the curb as he possibly dares. But that might be a track limit warning for him. He has to be careful of that. But
Wolfenator's wide. He comes through Sterling's, he's ran wide on the exit, and that has just compromised a bit of a run down towards Clearways. Bryn's had a moment, we drop down to him. He's lost out to Kelly, and look at this midfield pack. Pepe, Daz, Louis, Bryn, and then KLF just in front of the Lamborghini. Kelly a little wide, 2 wheels on the gravel. You do not want to be out there. That is going to compromise his run. And down towards Paddock Hill Bend they come. Bryn pretty much pushing that McLaren. Got on the brakes a little early and goes to the outside line. And Bryn really hassling the back of Kelly's McLaren. And Kelly, contact in the background. Daz and Louis come together. And the Honda is where it normally is best, cutting the grass. Here at Brands Hatch, he has to drop to the back of the pack. I got it in before you did. Bryn back ahead of Kelly. We missed that one.
He went right round the outside into Druids, is it the hairpin?
Yeah.
I believe it's Druids. He went right round the outside of Kelly and just seemed like the superior grip from the Lamborghini. But I think Bryn might be suffering in the middle sector. That's where the McLaren seems to be at its best. And right now, Kelly is in a not a dangerous position, but he's in a situation where he doesn't really want to be. He's got a fast Lamborghini that seems to be struggling in certain sectors, and then you've got a consistent Daz breathing down your neck. So right now, Kelly is in a really mid-engine sandwich of Ferrari, and Daz back again.
Why do we always go, we should expect it from Daz now. He's always chucking that back end around. Look at Pepe just getting on the grass a little bit there. Pepe, quite a consistent runner. Got his elbows out last week. You've got Stealth Sloth trying to gain on the back of Dean Wisocki.
He's had a great run out the final corner. He's had a great run. He's right into the toe of Holty. But again, it's very difficult to overtake around here. That Bentley has the grunt as they go towards turn one. Wolfenator not able to get the job done. I'll keep an eye on as they go into the hairpin, but Holty looks like he's got it covered as Wolfenator runs slightly wide.
Bryn looks like he's pulled a bit of a gap over Kelly. Now that's gone up to 1.2. Kelly has dropped Daz a little bit. Daz has got Pepe for company just behind him at Paddock Hill Bend. Down the pack is PN in 9th. Dean Wisoki's up to 10th. He's got Stealth Sloth for a bit of company. And then as Stealth comes up Paddock Hill, he's going to look up the inside. A late lunge from Stealth. Nope, thinks better of it. DJ Phil's 12th as Dean has actually gone deep. Dean's gone deep. Stealth Sloth side by side. They're coming down towards Graham Hill. Pit window is open. We'll jump to Holty as Dean holds his place. Holty now, Dan.
Yeah, he went wide just before going onto the GP loop and then just squeezed Wolfinator. Didn't really give him a car's width as they went down the back straight. And Wolfinator now breathing on the back of him. But obviously Holty seems to be struggling right now because right now Shane and Hitman are both creeping their way onto the back of these pair. And Green Wolfinator must be getting frustrated now being stuck behind that Bentley.
He's gone a little bit wide again. Yeah, just saw that. He's gone a little wide. Wolfinator looks up the inside into Sterling's. Quickly has to back out of that one. There is just nowhere to overtake at Brands. And Wolfinator is having to be patient. But Bentley, McLaren, Lamborghini, Aston Martin, it's 4 manufacturers in the top 4. And they're separated by about a second and a half from 1st to 4th. Kieran looks like he gets the better run through clearways and down towards Paddock Hill for lap 4 of this race. Pit window is open. Are we going to see any early runners as Holty now creates a bit of a gap? Shane's gone so deep at Paddock and he's off in the gravel trap. Hitman has gone flying through and a desperation dive maybe from Shane. Bryn will be on his way in a moment, although that Lamborghini's drifted through the corner. Kelly and Daz automatic early pit runners.
I think that's a good move there from Kelly and Daz. While the pack is still congested, they could get themselves in the pits, get their pit stops done and out the way, and they should have relatively clean air. As Holty is still defending like a madman from the Green Wolfinator, who's just hunting his back end so badly right now, and he just wants that clean break. But will Wolfinator decide to pit early, get the undercut, get in front of that Bentley? Because right now, all it's doing is holding him up, and Hitman is just sitting there waiting for the drama to happen and to pick up the pieces. Kelly's still in the pits, as is Daz. They've not gone green yet. We'll keep an eye on where they pop out. But Pepe also having a decent run here, as PM Motorsport is sitting on the back of him in P7 at the moment.
He is. Dean Wisoki must have had a moment because he's dropped behind Stealth Sloth and DJ Phil, and he's now behind Louis Allen as well as Kelly and Daz both go green, and out the pit lane they come. Kelly out and away. Daz now out and away. Pepe, PN running on the back of Pepe, so Pepe must have made a mistake somewhere as PN has really caught onto the back of him. And just looking back at Hitman, who looks like he's got a phenomenal run over the Wolfinator, looks to go to the outside of Paddock Hill. Is he going to chop underneath for the inside? And this just may be allowing Holty to stretch his legs a little bit, although not the best bit of braking from Hitman into turn 1. He's lost a lot of time to Wolfinator through there. And while these cars are all gaggled up and following one another, this will allow Shane to gain back up. Bryn will hopefully come as well as PN and Pepe both into the pit lane, as is Stealth, as is Phil. Louis Allen and Dean Wisoki carry on their way.
You know who's in the best prime position right now? It's KLF. He's got clear air. He's got no one in front of him. He's got to be smooth and consistent. Daz actually lost a lot of time to Kelly on that lap. In that pit lap. So Kelly right now, he's running a little bit wide in places, still obviously trying to get those temperatures and pressures up. But Wolfinator right now is probably getting sick to death looking at the back of that Bentley. He really has to start thinking of either doing the undercut or overcut. He basically got to do the opposite of whatever Holty does, because right now he is stuck in this train.
And one man it's helping is Shane. He's slowly creeping onto the back of these two. Hitman right on the back of the Wolfinator as they come into Sterling's for the 5th time today. What an absolute cracking race this has been. It's a bit worrying for tomorrow night. Good job I'm not here because it's really clean at the moment. These Pro-Am boys have put on a great show this season. They've really showed the Pro boys how to race wheel to wheel with other drivers. And Wolfinator again there, close to that gravel trap on the outside of Sterling. Sorry.
Pepe's jumped Daz. So Daz has been passed by Pepe there, but Daz is attacking into the hairpin as he just makes contact. And that's the difference between warm brakes and warm tyres. He's able to attack straight away. Well, Pepe, not too happy about that. Flash of lights from him. He obviously thinks he's been done wrong. And Stealth Sloth's facing the wrong way in the gravel trap.
Just saw that as we gone back to the Holty and Wolfinator battle. Just saw Stealth Sloth facing the wrong way just out the pits. It goes to show that when you come out the pits, Paddock Hill, not really the braking zone. There's a car well off. That is 57. I think Pepe has gone so wide just in front of these leaders here. Pepe then has had a moment and is now been lapped by the leaders. I think he's missed his brakes at Surtees.
Possibly so, and he's about to get passed by
Bryn's in.
Stelsloff as well. So Stelsloff goes through, Bryn is in. This should be interesting. Bryn is coming to the pits. Where is KLF? He is now in the final end of the middle sector, and he's coming to he's in the final sector, sorry. So this could be very beneficial here for KLF. He's into the final corner now, but we go back to the leaders because it's so tight between them, and they've got traffic ahead of him that are fighting.
And we haven't took our eyes off of this battle yet. It's absolutely fantastic at the moment from these boys.
Easily cleared Bryn.
There we go then. So Kelly's cleared Bryn. That is an interesting one for Bryn, for Kelly there. Clearly.
Holty's in, so is Wolfenator.
Has got a lot of pace. So Holty and Wolfenator in. Hitman not. Shane's decided to follow as well. This gives Holty a good bit of breathing space, Dan, coming into this back part of the lap. Dean will be looking to jump. DJ Phil is in the pits from 11th place. Is that retirement or he's 2 laps down? Is he retired to the pit lane?
I'm not sure. He came in quite early, but either way. Yeah, it's Holty and Wolfenator just followed one another in. I don't think that was a good decision. Where is KLF? He is now in the middle sector. We'll see how close he gets to the leaders. But Hitman has got a great opportunity here. But the problem is he's in traffic. If he can clear these 2 Ferraris, he could be in a good position to extend his stint and go as long as he possibly can. But we shall see how he gets on. But at the minute, he needs to clear the traffic first.
Well, DJ Phil is out the pits. He's done his pit stop. He's out.
Wolfenator's
so
done.
Phil...
Wolfenator's jumped Holty.
Oh, he has. Yeah, jumped Holty. An absolute good one as well. A good bit of gap, that. Shane as well is away. Does Holty have a bit of damage to repair there? Where is KLF? Just coming down towards the final bend now. So he's possibly gained a bit on the leaders, but nothing too much. Holty then struggling in the pits. So it is... You don't think a car rear-ended him in pit entry, did you, Dan? Too soon?
No.
Hitman in.
Yeah, too soon. And I mean, if whoever's rear-ended him into the pits and they get away and they get a penalty, I will be appealing that myself because they should easily get a warning. No comment.
Yeah.
Wolfenator with a clear gap now, 2.4 over Holty. He's had a very, very good pit stop. Hitman now, this is interesting. Where is he going to feed in all this? He's been on his own for a lap. Clear air. These guys still got to get their tyres and pressures into place. But this could be an opportunity where he does the overcut. Now, an overcut is when someone goes a lap longer, but obviously they haven't got the fresher tyres, but they've got a tyre temperature and brake temperature. So they're able to push and attack harder on that lap. But the first lap they come back out, they'll have no tyre pressure. They won't have any form of grip. As he's now leaving, Wolfenator's in the final corner. This is going to be close, Matt.
Yeah, this is going to be very close. He's off the limiter now, as Wolfenator is only just coming through the bend. Holty is nowhere in sight. Hitman has done the overcut and has jumped the Wolfenator and Holty here. An absolute peach. And what a strategy that is for Hitman on potentially his first race win here at SimPlay Motorsport. Dean and Louis Allen still to pit. They're the only 2 left to pit. But Hitman, 6 seconds as they cross the start line. We'll see as it updates before Surtees. Hitman has a huge gap over Wolfenator, and he himself has a couple of seconds to Holty, who's got a handful of seconds to Shane. And Bryn has lost out down on the timing screens to not just Kelly after the pit stop, but to Daz and PM Motorsport on that list as well.
He has lost out big time. Wolfenator must be sitting there scratching his head thinking, what's gone wrong here? No, and I did say, keep an eye out for that Aston Martin. It's very good race pace, even though it was not very good in qualifying. Its race pace just seems to be so good around here. But Wolfenator already bringing that gap down, 1.6 now. So Wolfenator has just cracked on and got on with it. He has got tyre temperature and brake temperature now as we're coming up to the halfway stage of this race. But Wolfenator sideways.
Sideways as he pulled the gap down to 1.6 seconds to Hitman. Holty is in the wall! Holty through Shane is in the wall, and this has put Shane right on the back of Holty here. Does he carry damage? It looks a bit scuffed on the rear bumper. Can't see that left-hand side of the car, right-hand side of the car to tell you what the damage is like. It does look bad on the rear end though. Dean Wasocki into the pit lane as here comes Holty. We'll get a good look at the damage now. Yep, grazed and battered on that left-hand side, and for Shane, Shane here a chance to really close the gap and do something in this race. So it's Louis Allen yet to pit from Hitman from the Green Wolfinator, who's 2.1 behind. Holty has lost a lot of time. He's got Shane for company. Kelly goes into P6 while Dean's in the pits, which will put Daz 7th. PN will go into 8th. Bryn should jump into 9th. Pepe possibly into 10th. And Dean's going to have a fight here with Stealth Sloth as he comes out the pit. Stealth Sloth at Sheen now. DJ Phil only just going through Hawthorns. So keep your eyes on Dean and Stealth Sloth. We'll just watch that a moment. In fact, actually, we'll go to Shane because he's got the gap down to half a second here.
He hasn't got quite onto the back of Holty yet, but Holty, this is not what you want to be doing with the couple of rounds left to go. He's got to be smooth, he's got to be consistent, and right now Shane is breathing down his neck, and this is what Kelly's going to be hoping for. He's in his own little world at the minute in 6th place. He's guaranteed 5th, I would say, with obviously Louis still yet to pit, and Louis just trying to get that time back that he lost earlier on. But Shane and Holty, this is where your fight's going to be. Shane's gone wide.
Shane has gone wide through Sheen, so where Holty made a mistake at lap before, Shane's done it this time around at the same spot, except Shane didn't hit the wall. So clear damage. Dean did get out ahead of Stealth Sloth, who has been lapped by Louis Allen then. So Dean on the lead lap at the moment. Louis obviously has to pit. Stealth Sloth will get that back as he comes in. So Dean then 11th place is 11 seconds behind Pepe, who isn't gaining on Bryn. Bryn trying to close down PN. He's trying to work with his teammate, Kelly. Obviously kind of sat in no man's land. He's clear behind by 8 seconds. And he is, we'll tell you as he crosses the line towards the car in front of Shane. That gap, 14.6 seconds. But Shane just got to get into a rhythm now. Holty's lost a lot of time to Wolfinator. As Green Wolfinator, we speak about him, he's got the gap down to 1.2 to Hitman. So he's charging at the moment, but has got to again get past another car.
He seems to just be yo-yoing at the minute. One minute he gets close to Hitman, next minute he struggles to get anywhere near him. So we'll keep an eye on how Wolfinator does. He just doesn't seem very consistent at the minute. But at the moment, he's starting to bring that gap down. Now a second as he goes through the middle sector. That McLaren just seems so good in the middle sector.
It really does at the moment, so we'll have to keep our eyes on what he does. Wolfinator then gets that gap now just towards a second. Shane's still 1.7 behind. PN 1.2 off the back. So it's going to be interesting to see what these boys can do in this race. Bryn 6.4 behind PN. Can he catch him down in this one? Take a look at Wolfinator's last sector compared to the Hitman's. We'll see what he gets the job down to, or has Hitman managed to pull away in this final sector? Crosses the line to start his 11th lap. The gap up 2/10 for Hitman in that final sector. So good stuff from him. Shane to a Holty, Dan. That looks like it's under a second again, because Shane is now half a second behind Holty, and he's really charging to the back of him.
I'll tell you what happened. Holty ran wide just after the fast right kink into the left kink, and then he just ran a little bit wide, touched the gravel, and all lost his momentum. But Shane's on the curb too much, and he's dropped the rear. He's managed to keep it facing the right way. So both of these two making too many silly errors. Holty running too wide, Shane being too eager on the power and losing the rear. These two really need to dial out these problems. Meanwhile, the two Ferraris, the PM Motorsport Daz, having their own little squabble right now.
Yeah, PN having a bit of a Daz moment. They're sideways through Paddock Hill Bend. They've got Bryn, who's bringing the gap down to them, a little further behind them on the track. But PN above Daz, P7 and P8. As the gap Wolfinator to Hitman is 0.3 of a second. The cameraman pans round. He's on the back of the Aston Martin, 11 laps in. Pit window is 7 minutes left. Oh, Hitman, he's missed the brakes for Sterling's. He's in the gravel. He's gone straight on at Sterling's. And that is the invitation the Wolfinator needed indeed. He's up to P1. And that is a fantastic moment as what's happening, Holty Shane.
Holty had a wiggle in the same corner that Hitman went wide. Holty had a wiggle, and the car just did not want to respond, didn't want to do as it's told. And now Shane is back on the back of him once again. Meanwhile, Pepe, within a couple of tenths of Bryn, also in the middle sector. So it's getting really close between all the guys right now.
It is, and Bryn's trying to close down Daz and PN. In fact, he was. Bryn must have made a mistake somewhere because he's now 12 seconds behind. So that is a big gap for Bryn to try and claw back. Pepe on the back of him. We see Shane just a bit wider through Druids this time. Hitman has all that work to do again. He's got Holty 7 seconds behind. I don't think Hitman has to worry about Holty. He was wide on the exit of Graham Hill Bend, and this is turning into a bit of a nightmare for Holty at the moment. Got to get it right through Surtees. This could be where the Lamborghini's a bit stronger than the Bentley. Now that Lamborghini power can soar down in the slipstream as they come down. I think it's Pilgrim's Drop up then the Hawthorns Hill. It is. No, I was right. God.
I mean, I have got no idea what you're on about, but yes, Shane is looking to try and find his way past that Bentley. Holty obviously doing a great job of defending right now, but it took Wolfinator to do a pit stop undercut, or they had to do a pit stop basically to get in front of Holty. Couldn't do it on track. What can Shane do? You just got to hope that Holty makes a mistake and pressurize him into that mistake. Make sure that you keep it clean and consistent yourself, but try and force the other driver to make a mistake, not by barging them into the pits and overtaking them under the pit stop while they make it repair the damage and then steal a race win. But, you know, that's how it's done if you're in the pro.
I don't know who'd do that. Bryn's gained 4 seconds over Daz automatic, so I don't know if Daz has had a moment. In fact, he has. He's currently on the grass at the moment, so Bryn gaining on Daz again. He's pulled away from Pepe as well, so Bryn clearly got a bit of pace tonight in this midfield, but making too many mistakes. A man that is just having a quiet night is Kelly, 9.5 ahead of PM Motorsport. He's way off the back of Shane. Shane has just gone through Druids. Kelly's not even at the line yet, so he's nearly a sector behind Shane. It's exactly 20 seconds, but Shane has lost a bit of time to Holty here, so he's had Shane not getting Druids right at the moment.
He seems to be struggling in Sector 1.
Seems to be where he's at his worst. Hitman 2.8 off the back of Wolfinator. 4.5 minutes left of the pit window for this man to make his pit stop. He's just lapped Dean with Socky. Dean's got 6 seconds to stove off. He's 14 seconds behind Pepe as well. So Dean at the minute will be on the lead lap. Will finish on the lead lap as well because Louis Allen still has to pit and doesn't this time around either. So Louis going long, and the fight now really is, where will Louis be in relation to KLF after Louis' pit stop down?
DJ Phil's gone wide, so that's just possibly put off Shane. He's just gone wide himself. So DJ Phil trying to get himself out of the way. It's just distracted the Lamborghini. But yeah, Louis, this is an interesting one for Louis. He's not got long left to pit, and he's currently 16.8 ahead of the Green Wolfinator, who's pushing his luck as well. He ran wide not long ago. So this is the problem with brands. There's only so much space that you can get away with, and all these guys just seem to be pushing the limits that little bit too far. And Aidan Bennett says in the chat, Shane looking racy, wonderful if Holty is affected by the impact of the barrier.
Yeah.
Wonder, sorry. Hitman has got a run on Wolfinator. Wolfinator's made a mistake.
Oh no, what has happened here? Wolfinator's made a mistake. Hitman is right on the back of him, just trying to look at that car. Does it look damaged in any way? Don't think so. So the only thing I can imagine here for Wolfinator is he's gone straight on maybe at Graham Hill, because Hitman was ahead at the sector time, which is before Surtees. So I wonder if Wolfinator's made a mistake at Graham Hill Bend. Hitman a little wide coming through Hawthorns. Will just drop down to Shane. Not close enough to Holty. Drop down to Pepe now. He's not close enough to Bryn. So it's all happening at the late stage of this race. Louis probably got 2 laps before he pits. And Wolfinator
Shane's gone wide.
Just stretches that gap out again. What's happened to Shane?
As we go to the right-hander, Shane just drops it, goes a little bit wide onto the gravel trap. He's gone wide again, he's off big time.
Tyre's gone, that looks to me, either that or the brakes, because that is just not stopping. Kelly then could be licking his lips if Shane's starting to walk wounded. Louis Allen in the pits, so Wolfinator comes through, Hitman comes through. It's going to be a fight of where Kelly is in relation to Louis. Has Louis Allen done enough to jump Kelly in the pits by going extremely long? And Wolfinator already, he's made the mistake, and Wolfinator's gone down.
Yeah, he has. I think the problem is that McLaren is so loose in certain sectors. I think Wolfinator's just pushing that a little bit too hard. He's just pushing too hard to get away from Hitman. He just got to know that this track is so difficult to overtake. Kelly's into the final corner, and he will easily clear Louis Allen, no problem. Louis at the minute, his main worry will be PM Motorsport, who's also in the final corner. He will jump Louis. Did he sustain any damage from the contact? He's going to be dropped and gone, but I think his race is going to be with Daz, who's now in the final corner.
Louis Allen off pit limiter now. PN has sailed through. Daz is on his way. So Daz can hunt down the Honda then. That puts Kelly up to 5th place. PN's now up to 6th. And it's a case of who will do what. Pepe's dropped off the back of Bryn, so Bryn showing good pace in this one. Dean well clear of Stovesloft. DJ Phil is well behind as well. And Shane's got to recover 3.3 seconds to get on the back of Holty. Wolfinator here just seems to have a bit more stronger pace over all the other drivers out there tonight. It's going well for him in this first race.
It is indeed, but I think Hitman has just been that more consistent, more balanced car. And like I said, the race pace of the Aston Martin proving its worth in this one. And the McLaren, yes, at times is a little bit quicker, but I think Wolfinator is just pushing it that little bit too hard that it needs to be, and Hitman is there when he needs to be. Shane, on the other hand, again, I think he's just pushing too hard, making too many errors that is allowing Holty to pull away. And like I said, KLF is just on his own, having a Sunday cruise.
Really is.
He's just probably learning the track while he's on his own, getting to the groove for race 2. And right now, Kelly minding his own business right now. I'll tell you his lap times. He's 28.8, so not the best lap from him last lap, but Kelly is in the groove and minding his own business. 29.3, so he seems to be struggling. Maybe he's got tyre pressure issues.
And he wasn't looking forward to tonight, Dan, was he? He was not looking forward to tonight at all as we come on air, and he's going well so far. So Shane 3 seconds to Holty then. That gap, is it coming down? We'll have to see. The pit window's closed, which means we're in the final 5 minutes of the race. Let's drop back to Pepe, who is a second and a half behind Bryn. No, he's not. He's now a second in front of Bryn. So Bryn has made a mistake somewhere else. And the Lamborghini, the unspoken car around here, we don't know if it's good, we don't know if it's bad. It's just kind of a, yeah, you know, it's bag average sort of round here.
Well,
it's not in the top 4. It's not the Honda, so it's not the worst car around here. But Bryn and Shade both seem like they're pushing the Lamborghini a bit too hard.
Possibly so. The short back end of the car probably doesn't like the amount of aggression that's been thrown into it. As Hitman gains on time on the Wolfinator. Last lap it was 1.2 the gap. It's now 8 tenths. So the Aston Martin coming back again. Can Hitman go for one last attack before the end of the race? 4 minutes to go. Possibly could do so, as Wolfinator, I think, still pushing that McLaren too hard at the minute, as Bryn is still relatively close to the back of the Aston Martin. And look who's just in the foreground. Daz, he's gone wide.
And Daz, that's why just Daz clearly struggling around Brands Hatch at the moment. Went on board with Pepe. Daz was in the gravel. He seems to be struggling around here at the moment. He looks wide again through Sterling, through Sheen. He's coming down to Sterling's. Get that one stopped down because you've got 2 quick cars coming onto the back of you. Hitman looks like he's lost a bit of time to Wolfinator. Shane slowly bringing that gap back down as well. But let's jump back to Pepe's. He's now on the back of Daz and taking Bryn with him.
He is indeed. So Daz really needs to try and keep that car, that Ferrari chaos, under control. Keep him nice and smooth and consistent. Let's go to the turn 1, and I think that's the most stable he's looked in turn 1, to be fair.
Most stable he's looked for weeks.
For sure. Yeah. For sure.
Daz in the white and black Ferrari. Pepe in the lime green and black Aston Martin. Bryn in the tickle your pink Lamborghini in the background. It's 3 different manufacturers for 8th, 9th and 10th here. Gap out front is 8 tenths of a second. We'll keep our eyes on that one as well, as Hitman looks like he gets a better run through turn 1. And we say that he puts 2 wheels on the outside. We see it all the time in touring cars and GT racing. You go wide, you get in the gravel, you lose all momentum up the hill towards Druids. But it's 7 tenths Pepe to Daz, 6 tenths Bryn to Pepe. Pepe in a real sandwich at the moment.
He is indeed, but I think Daz possibly just went wide somewhere and just got dirt on his tyres, and that's why he's just struggling at the minute. But Pepe is not going to let him breathe easy at the minute. He's currently sitting in that 9th place position. Obviously 13 started tonight, so I believe it is the top 7 can't qualify.
7. Yeah.
So at the minute, Louis Allen, a great recovery to get himself back up into P7. But the top 7 at the minute will not be able to qualify. He's actually caught PN quite quickly. He's now only 1.3 off the back of PN Motorsport.
Right, so Louis Allen on a charge in his Ferrari. The gap out front has gone up to a second. Holty to Shane is now 3.2. Yet again, so Shane making a bit of a mistake somewhere. Kelly is gapless to Shane and Holty, as they are a full sector now in front, but the middle sector is pretty short. PN then not far off the back of Kelly, but he's wide at Graham Hill, is PN. He's got his indicator on saying that he's turning left. It is a left-hander next, PN. And Louis Allen up the inside. Thank you, mama, for the carrots. I'll have a bit of that. And Louis Allen's Honda, top 6 now. PN still can't qualify for race 2 at this moment. And Louis Allen moves it into 6th place. Then it's Daz, Pepe and Bryn all having a little scrap. Dean's down in 11th place with the leaders right behind him.
I'm not sure. I think we might get one more lap out of this if I go on the Wolfinator.
Oh, that's good from Dean.
Right,
yeah, that's good from Dean. Fair play. They don't have to move, but fair play to him.
Yeah, they did a 26.3 Wolfinator's last lap, so I think we've still got this lap and 1 to go, I think.
We haven't had the call from race control to say leader on the final lap yet, have we? So I do believe you are correct.
So we got this and 1 to go. Holty has managed to keep Shane well off him. Kelly's mind his own business. He's been in 5th this whole time, and he's got, like I said, he's pretty much got a part of the track that's all to himself. But meanwhile, Louis has obviously got past Pien, who's not given up.
Oh,
quite
car number
yet.
7, yellow flag in the final sector. That is Bryn. He's being caught now by Dean Wasocki. So if he's got damage and the leaders do get one more lap in, they've just come through Sterling's. So we'll go to Wolfenator, but Bryn just in front. If he has a couple more mistakes, Dean Wasocki could pounce on a position with Bryn, as Bryn was trying to cover up. 17 seconds through clear waves. Wolfenator is about to start the last lap of the race in this one, Dan, and it's been a relatively clean race from all drivers here in Pro-Am once again tonight.
Yeah, that's really worrying. I don't like that. Bryn's off! Oh, and he's hit Wolfenator!
Oh no! Wolfenator got caught up with Kelly and Leon Fernie last week, and now has he lost a race win? Has he lost a second place? Bryn has caught him.
In turn 1.
What happened, Dan? Talk us through it, because you was watching.
So Bryn was rejoining after running wide in turn 1 and got onto the curb. By that point, too late. Wolfenator's committed to turn 1. Wolfenator takes his normal line and then just hits Bryn on the exit curb. And Bryn really should have stayed out in the gravel trap, but he stayed and rolled onto the curb, and Wolfenator had nowhere to go. He is now walking wounded as Holty is coming up behind him.
What a shame then for Wolfenator. Had a race win stripped away last week from Leon Fernie and Kelly when he was lapping them, getting tangled up in a collision at Zolder. A lapped call this week has caused Wolfenator to lose another race. He must wonder what he's got to do to buy a win. That puts Dean Wasocki ahead of Bryn. We said if Bryn has another mistake, Dean is right there. And not only is Dean right there, but Hitman capitalising on this lead. He comes into Sterling's now. And, well, Dan, just keep your eyes on Wolfenator and Holty as we cut then back to this little end of the lap, should I say. I was about to say a little scrap. He's not won a race at SimPlay Motorsport. He's about to get his first race win. It will also be Aston Martin, his first race win. It is Hitman with the race win. It is Holty and Wolfenator to the line. I think Wolfenator has just done enough to put Holty off in that final sector. What could have been for him, what could have been for Holty. Shane is going to come across the line for a P4. Good result for Shane, or is it? He'll be disappointed nonetheless. Kelly, a steady P5. Don't really know what else to say about that one.
Just cleaning the system, kept it on track, stayed out of trouble. Stel Sloth crossing the line now for P12. So a better race for Stel Sloth there. Probably not suited his track style, but either way, he comes across the line in that position, as we also have Phil crossing the line in 13th. But KLF into the final corner he goes. Towards the line he comes. KLF, he's flashing the lights. I think he's relatively happy with that one.
I think he is as well. One thing we have missed.
Man now.
One thing we have missed is, the timing screens lied to us. PN did get back ahead of Louis Allen, but Louis Allen will take P6. PN will take P7. Pepe has cleared Daz automatic as well. So Daz will be down in 9th place. Pepe will be P8. So a good result for him. Louis Allen obviously finishing in 6th place. And that then is your order from race 1. What a dramatic end to that race.
Wow, what a dramatic end to that race, for sure. As we will get the guys back into the pits, get themselves refreshed and ready to go for race 2. And we will go to an ad break now. So make sure you guys get yourself refreshed, ready to go. We'll get the, I think we're probably only going to get Holty in for a chat. So make sure you tune in a moment.
nothing said. Out my life, out my head. Feels like I'm going insane, yeah. It's a thief in the night to come and grab you. It can creep up inside you and consume you. A disease of the mind, it can control you. It's too close for comfort. Turn on your breaker lights. We're in the city of wonder and complete nights. Watch out, you might just go under. Better think twice. Your brain is full of the altered. So if you was fall to be wise, your mind is in disturbia. It's like a darkness is the light. Disturbia. Am I scaring you tonight? Disturbia. Ain't you so what you like? Disturbia. No more gas in the rig. Nothing heard, nothing said. Out my life, out my head. Feels like I'm going insane, yeah, yeah. It's a thief in the night to come and grab you. It can creep up inside you and consume you. A disease of the mind, it can control you. It's too close for comfort. Turn on your breaker lights. We're in the city of wonder and complete nights. Watch out, you might just go under. Better think twice. Your brain is full of the altered. So if you was fall to be wise, your mind is in disturbia. It's like a darkness is the light. Disturbia. Am I scaring you tonight? Disturbia. Ain't you so what you like? Disturbia. Disturbia. No more gas in the rig. Nothing heard, nothing said. Out my life, out my head. Feels like I'm going insane, yeah, yeah. It's a thief in the night to come and grab you. It can creep up inside you and consume you. A disease of the mind, it can control you. It's too close for comfort. Turn on your breaker lights. We're in the city of wonder and complete nights. Watch out, you might just go under. Better think twice. Your brain is full of the altered. So if you was fall to be wise, your mind is in disturbia. It's like a darkness is the light. Disturbia. Am I scaring you tonight? Disturbia. Ain't you so what you like? Disturbia. No more gas in the rig. Nothing heard, nothing said. Out my life, out my head. Feels like I'm going insane, yeah, yeah. It's a thief in the night to come and grab you. It can creep up inside and said, out my life, out my head. Feels like I'm going insane, yeah. It's a thief in the night to come and grab you. It can creep up inside you and consume you. A disease of the mind, it can control you. It's too close for comfort. Hide under break lights. We're in the city of wonder and complete nights. Watch out, you might just go under. Better think twice. Your brain is slowly altered. So if you was fall to be wise, your mind is in disturbia. It's like a darkness is the light. Disturbia, am I scaring you tonight? Disturbia, ain't you to what you like? Disturbia,
Five, four, three, two.
Welcome back then, ladies and gentlemen, to SimPlay Motorsport. The poll is out for who you think gets polled. Don't forget the top 7 cannot qualify. And then top 7 are Hitman, Wolfinator, Holty, Shane, KLF, Louis Allen, and PN Motorsport. So the guys are Daz Automatic, Bryn Dean, Stealth Sloth, and DJ Phil, and also Pepe can qualify. So it's going to be interesting to see who does what. Stealth Sloth returns to the pits. I think Daz will be out there for a lap time. We'll quickly
Assetto.
drivers and the Constructors' Championships then. As we already know, the Constructors won by A&H Motorsport. They have pulled even further clear of Tickle Pink, who also moved further clear of East and West. Now, even though they've had 2 drivers tonight, Kelly's good 5th place has kept them in contention. No Smithy tonight. Really could have done with Smithy to score them team points. The Austrian Racing Club of the Green Wolfinator looks like he's going to wrap up the Independence title any time within the next 2 races. Either this one or race 1 at Misano next week. MC Motorsport on 278. They are only 6 clear of the independent of Pepe in the racing group team. That's a good one racing. We know Leon Fernie tonight, DJ Phil flying the flag solo. But for Dean Wasocki, 1 point clear for P3 in that independent battle between him and Team Oro Titan. The Lone Ranger Racing Bentley Continental has the upper hand. JWB Racing Esports goes ahead of the JW Esport 2 goes ahead of the JWB Racing Esport 1 car, obviously the Audi and the Aston Martin. But what you're all here for is the Drivers' Championship. And with no Kieran Argent here tonight, it really does take a massive twist in the standings. Holty leads the way, 66 points clear of Shane. He needs to outscore Shane by 12 points or more, I do believe, in this race to win the championship. So we hope we can speak with Holty a little later on, as well as in a moment. Shane second from Wolfinator, who's gaining on Shane in that P3 spot. Wolfinator now ahead of Argent by 16 points. So Argent here has a lot of work to do next week. Pepe is only 9 off the back of Argent, so Argent could be P5 by the end of tonight. Kelly on 244, kind of sitting in no man's land. He pulls away from Daz in 7th place on 215. PN on 203. Stealth Sloth, P9 on 169. He is 7 clear of Smithy in P10. Bryn extends his gap over DJ Phil. He's on 157. DJ Phil on 149. Dean Wasocki's on 136, a point ahead of Louis Allen. Welshie down to P15 with Hitman up to 16th. Leon Fernie in 17th and Dennis Newman in 18th place. So Holty needs to outscore Shane by 12 or more points to win the championship. And we have Holty in the box. Now, we promise you, ladies and gentlemen, at SimPlay Motorsport, we are going to get the new drivers on the podium next year if they get there. We've had a lot of new European and North and South American drivers join the channel this season. So we want to make sure they're comfortable doing interviews and speak English enough to do interviews as well. I know from last year's experience how tricky it can be and daunting it can be speaking to someone of a different language. So we hope we'll get drivers in next season. But we'll speak with Holty, and Holty, that was a tricky race one for yourself.
Yeah, it's just the Bentley's really struggling around here. Just the pace of Lamborghini and Wolfenay and that McLaren is just something else. The pace that they've got around here at the moment. Just try to keep consistent and not make too much mistakes. I brushed the wall, got slight rear damage, which was affected us a little bit down the straight.
Yeah.
But yeah, the pace of that Lamborghini, I was watching Shane going off some of the corners, and next minute it's back on my bumper again. I'm just like, where the hell's he got the speed from here?
It looked good before the pit stops. You was having a good battle with Shane and Wolfenator and Hitman, because you got the Wolfenator done quite early. It was after the pit stops that the rain took a bit of a turn for the worst.
Yeah, my tyres just seemed to have dropped off. I think I was just pushing a little bit too hard. Just started overheating a little bit. So I just tried to back off a little bit to get the temperatures back down.
Yeah.
But then he went down too far, and I had to push a bit more to get them back in the window. But I was just struggling to keep the tyres in the window, so I made a few changes for race 2. So hopefully they can work.
Hopefully they can work. It looks like you're starting towards that middle of the pack, to be fair. This could be a good chance for you, really, to get a lap on the board and to get a good start. With less drivers on the grid, the traffic's not as much of a problem around Brands Hatch tonight.
No, this second race, I just can't be in any carnage at anything, get any damage. I just lose too much time in the pits. It's a shame that Argent's not here. I could have done with his help tonight.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've just got to see how this race 2 pans out now.
Obviously, championship could be won tonight. Is that in your mind at all, or is it just get the best result as possible out there?
It probably will be towards the end of the race. I'll see where Shane is. But I'll just have to keep pushing really hard. I've seen the pace of that Lamborghini around here now, so just got to hope for no mistakes for this race too.
Well, we'll let you get back to it, buddy. Have a good one.
Cheers, mate.
Clearly a happy Holty there, Dan, and clearly a man who has his sights set on winning this championship.
Yeah, definitely so. And I think the only man who could stop him is Shane, and I just think it's just too much for Shane now. We might as well just focus on Holty possibly just trying to either nail it here tonight, or he'll probably nail it at the first round at Misano. But we do have to say that Misano would definitely suit the Lamborghini much more than the Bentley. But either way, whoever takes the championship this season has been a worthy champion, and we could have an interesting second season. Obviously, normally with the Project Car system, we would have a top 3 would be promoted, and the bottom 3 will be demoted from Pro into Pro-Am. But obviously, with a lot of new drivers and not newcomers here to SimPlay Motorsport, we could possibly still have to do that, but obviously new drivers would have to put themselves in the ranking order and make sure that the whole grid is fair. And the rumours of possibly having an amateur class as well.
It could be the first time, Dan, that we have a Pro-Am champion possibly defend Pro-Am.
Possibly so. It all depends on how the pecking order feeds towards the end of the season. Obviously, we will have a season break, so it'll be possibly between 4 to 6 weeks maybe, but we will have mini leagues going on in the meantime. I believe we've got the British GT going on as well on PS5. So PS5 guys who are interested in racing here at SimPlay Motorsport, make sure you are prepared and ready for the British GT Championship. Sadly, I will not be able to participate nor commentate due to the fact that I've got a PS4. Yeah, I can put a few up and relax. So
get a nice good. I've even done the thumbnails, Dan. So you don't even have to do them from here. I've done them.
I didn't even know this was happening a couple of days ago. But either way, it is happening. Hopefully, we could get something on PS4 as well for those PS4 users. Yeah. Whether it was some GT4s, maybe some Carrera, Porsche Super Cup, maybe bring back something on Gran Turismo, or even do a bit of Project Cars 2.
I think there's a few rumours of maybe a Le Mans 2.4 hour on Project Cars 2, or maybe an Indy 500. So we'll have to. We'll have to see what happens out there. I was going to speak with you, Dan, just before the race starts. The differences we're going from this week to next week. Just talk us through it. Obviously, we know next week in pre-season testing that your Lamborghini, in your hands especially, and the Bentley in my hands, your Lamborghini looks far mightier around Misano than the Bentley. If we look at that in Pro-Am this season, we have seen Shane be mightier than Holty on tracks where the Lamborghini's been favourite. Do we think that's going to be the case? What do we think the McLaren could do at Misano? Because they are two different circuits, aren't they? Brands Hatch, tight, twisty, up and down. Misano, it is twisty, but it's fast.
Yeah, I think that what we've learned from this season is the Bentley, it seems to be the all-round better race car for the season. I think it's a much better race car. It's more stable, more compliant, and more able to control. Meanwhile, the Lamborghini is a very fast outright car. It's very quick in a straight line. It's very quick on a one lap, and will put you exactly where you need to be. But it's a little bit twitchy and on the edge throughout the season. So regarding Misano, I still think the Lamborghini will be favoured. The Bentley will struggle with its fast corners and then a couple of low-speed corners as well. But it's mainly medium to high-speed corners circuit. Not a lot of straights either. Well, the straights are there, but they wouldn't benefit the Bentley. It's too big, it's too bulky, and as we found out at Monza, it really didn't suit that track either. So the Lamborghini will benefit from aero. And I also think that the McLaren, again, it's a car it's in the middle of both of them. It's a very well-planted car, and it's got a lot of downforce, but it's draggy at the same time.
Yeah.
It drags, and it's unable to push itself through the air as well as the Lamborghini, but it's able to be as planted as the Bentley and more consistent as the Bentley. So there's pros and cons of all the cars. I would think maybe the Honda might be strong around Misano, Ferrari possibly strong as well, but I think the Bentley will struggle, and I think any of the other front-wheel drive cars, obviously there's no other ones here, front engine car, not front wheel, but front engine, so Bentley, Lexus, I think Jaguar and a couple others front engine. Aston Martin might still struggle, but I think the mid-engine cars should be a lot better around there. And I think even the Porsche, if we see Breeze possibly, maybe the Porsche could do something. Who knows?
Well, there we go then. As the pole comes to an end and qualifying comes to an end, and it is Daz Automatic who takes pole with a time of 1:26.5, 3/10 quicker than Pepe, with Bryn in third place, Dean Wisocki fourth, Stovstorff fifth, and DJ Fell sixth place. And then it is the non-qualifiers. It is Wolfenator, Holty, KLF, Shane, Louis Allen, PN, and Hitman, all qualifying at the back of the pack, ready for this next race. And what a chance this is for these boys in this one to get something out of it. Dan, your race winner for race 2.
I don't honestly know. I think Wolfenator deserves it, but I don't want to curse him.
Yeah.
So I would like to see Pepe race win. I think he's got the consistency. Other guys might be tripping over each other. It's going to be difficult to overtake. I think if Pepe gets a decent start and gets away from the pack, I think Pepe could have a chance to win his first race.
Fair enough. I'm going to go Hitman again. I think he might do it if there's kind of carnage. Aston Martin, first ever race win here at SimPlay Motorsport. So another race win for them. The McLaren, it goes 3 pole positions behind the BMW. Overall, it's had its 34th podium. 34th pole position, sorry. And the Aston Martin even took its 4th podium of the of SimPlay Motorsport's history. The McLaren took its 92nd podium, and the Bentley its 46th. Lamborghini obviously made its 700th race start in race 1. No other milestones at the moment for this one. If we look at the pole positions, I believe that's Daz's second pole position. It is indeed. It was Wolfenator's second pole position and Daz's now. So that's 2 pole positions for them. Holty, he's took his 29th podium. Puts him tied with D-Biggs and Monkey Boy on that list. What about Hitman? It was another podium for him. He's a bit low down. He's only had his 2nd podium of all time. And as for the Green Wolfenator as well, he's had his 7th podium. Nobody really on any milestones race starts tonight. For race wins, though, that was Hitman's first as well here at SimPlay Motorsport. So what a night for him. Dan going Pepe, I'm going Hitman, both favouring the Aston Martins. You get your say in the comments what you favour, as round 18, 3 from home we are, is about to be green, and go for the final time this evening. And it's Bryn who gets an almighty launch from the middle row. He's already passed Pepe and is attacking the back of Daz. Tugs underneath Daz now. Stealth a spinner in the mid-pack. Hopefully everything's all right. Now there's carnage in the background. But Bryn, we stay with the leaders up the inside of Daz Automatic into the Druid's corner. And he pushes Daz a little wide. Nothing too aggressive. And Bryn leads from Daz. Pepe third. Halty Dan already up to fourth place at the end of the first lap. Dean Wasocki still in the gravel. He's had a poor first lap there.
Yeah, not the start they would have wanted at all then. So a lot of the guys dropping down the order. KLF and Wolfenator getting involved in that one as well, but they've quickly worked their way onto the Hitman was the worst one who came out of all that, as was Shane. Shane is definitely the worst one out of all that. Dean to the back of the pack. We have lost a driver. We did have 13. We are now down to 12. So I'm not sure who we've lost, but either way, Brent leads the way. Daz in second, third is Pepe, and fourth is Halty. I will try and figure out who is.
No, DJ Phil is still there. Yeah, interesting then. So it is.
No, Bryn's leading.
No, Bryn leads. So it's PN's there. So it's Bryn from Daz, from Pepe, from Halty.
Louis. We've lost
Louis Allen. Yes, there's no Honda. How could I miss the Honda? Oh my days. Either way, Pepe attacking the back of Daz Automatic. They had a fighting race one. He's got Halty behind him. Wolfenator has dropped Kelly already. Kelly coming under pressure from PN. And PN, did he just get a tap up the rear there from Hitman? PN straight on at clearways. I wonder if Hitman just gave him a bit of a tap up the rear end. Here comes DJ Phil to overtake PM Motorsport. Just a quicker speed around the outside. Looks like DJ Phil's gone back to the pad and gets that one done on PN. Does he?
Oh,
no.
Daz hit the back of Bryn. Daz has just tapped the back of Bryn going into Dunlop. So he's just giving him a little push and he's letting back through again. Druids, that's the one.
Yeah.
That's the one. I'm thinking of...
Dunlop is a British Championship, a BTCC corner name. Can't remember which track. No, it's not. Dunlop. It's Dunlop the Isle of Man TT.
Dunlop
Either way.
Curb. That's what I'm thinking of, possibly.
That's the one, I think, isn't it? Either way, yeah.
Halty's past Pepe now, and Pepe dropping down to fourth, but Daz is really starting to push the back of the Lamborghini Bryn. But Halty in a good position right now, but also he has to be careful of what's going on around him. He's got Shane's teammate leading the race, and Shane down in the pack. This is all working into Halty's favour right now. A championship could be done and dusted here and now, but Wolfenator is also slowly creeping on the back, and Hitman is now right on the back of KLF.
And we're watching this KLF battle, Daz and Bryn. They're off as we see KLF and Hitman go through. Daz has returned to the pit lane, and Bryn was off with Daz as well. So what has happened there? Halty now leads this race and has kind of been gifted in a minute. Hitman gets a great run through Sterling's on Kelly, but Kelly will have that inside line for clearways. Here they come. Hitman thinks better of it. So Daz returns to the pit lane. Not sure what happens. Bryn has only just got going after Dean Wasocki has passed him. So it is Halty with Pepe on the back of him who leads this race. Wolfenator is up to third. Kelly currently fourth, defending from Hitman into Paddock Hill Bend, and they come. DJ Phil is up to sixth. PN's sixth. He's got past DJ Phil after the start line. Stovstoff is eighth. Shane is now ninth. Bryn down in 10th. Oh, Bryn's off again. And I think it's actually Dean Wasocki who's 10th place. Yes, it is. Oh, I don't know what has happened there, Dan, but it has gone horribly wrong.
I'm work in progress right now, buddy. I'm work in progress. Just give me a second.
He's on it.
I'm on board with Daz, and I will tell you exactly what has happened. But Matt, you're going to have to keep the action going, because right now I need to figure out what has happened. Is
that Hitman has got a great run coming down Pilgrim's Drop on KLF 900. He's still, though, in the background behind Kelly. He can't get a proper run on him to get the car up the inside. The McLaren just being as planted as can be as Kelly now comes through Hawthorns. Here comes Hitman. Has a look then as they pull out down towards Westfield. Is Hitman going up the inside? He is. Two wheels on the curb. Brave man through Dell, best corner name ever, and Kelly still holds on to it. PN's now there, car off in the background. I think that was Stealth Sloth.
Dingledale, I don't think it's the best one either. What's the one at Snetterton? That's my favourite one.
The bomb hole.
That's the one. No,
Nickelbrook, Alton Park.
Alton Park? Yeah, that's the one. That's the one I meant. That's the best one.
Right, what happened, Daz and Bryn then, Dan?
Basically, Bryn goes into the right-hander, and Daz gets a decent run onto the back of Bryn, but he gets a little bit too close and spins Bryn right round. Bryn gets rear damage into the back of the wall. He goes, Daz hits the front, and Daz returns back to the pits. I think, to be honest, that is all Daz's fault. He spun Bryn around and Holty and Pepe get a free chance to just ride on through the distance.
They do indeed. PN just attacking the back of Hitman there. Hitman had a poor run through Druids. Wolfinator on the back of Pepe. So we'll just jump to Wolfinator and Pepe a moment while Hitman and PN have a little scrap at the moment. Here comes Wolfinator. Pepe to the inside. And did Pepe let Wolfinator go there? That was a very strange overtake. Pretty slow from the Pepe. He may know that he's not his fight. Is Pepe just allowing Wolfinator to get past so he can try and stay on this podium battle?
A couple of races that we've now sit and watched with Pepe, he seems to be very switched on when it comes to racing. He knows who he's fighting with and what he can do. So maybe he sat there and thought, right, okay.
Oh, Dan Hitman, he's got the run up towards Sterling's on Kelly. He's got the job done. He's got a little deep. Kelly tries to cut back underneath. Can't do it. And now down into Sterling's. Kelly has a look but can't get it back up the inside. Hitman's up to P4. Great move.
Yeah, definitely. So good move from him. So Bryn's into the pits now. He's obviously got damage to his car, so he's retired back to the pits. And obviously these guys need to finish their race, or else they will get a qualifying ban for Misano. They do not want that for the final race of the season. We'll go back to Pepe. I think he seems to be quite a switched-on driver. He seems to know when to fight and what to do in these situations. And I think he just knows that Wolfinator has just got general race pace. Maybe use him to get onto the back of Holty. Holty's pulled away. Let those two scrap, and if anything happens between those two, he is then in the pound seat for the race win.
Shane's made his way up to 9th place. He's now currently on the back of DJ Phil. So what can he do there? PN now trying to catch Kelly, and Hitman will be charging after his Aston Martin compatriot of Pepe. But it is currently Shane who's trying to get on the back of DJ Phil and get through. Shane does look like he's got some front end damage here.
Yeah, probably from the start of the race, contact damage. Yeah. Obviously, with everything that's going on, he can't pit at the minute while Bryn's in the pits.
I don't think he will anyway. I think he's fine to keep going. 12 minutes till the pit window opens. Oh, Phil very sideways through there, and that's put him wide through Westfields. And Shane, thank you, Mama, for the carrots up the inside at Sheen. Job done. DJ Phil tried to fight it. You do not fight around the outside of Sheen. And Phil well off, comes on just in front of Stelsloff, holds on to that position.
Does it indeed. Dean was the biggest loser out of everybody. Bryn's come back out, so he's obviously repaired his damage. Dean, wrong place, wrong time, and it just can caught up in the instances. I think next season he'll be happy to see the end of the Bentley and possibly go for a car that suits his driving style more. Possibly the McLaren, or possibly the Lexus would have been a better choice for Dean, I would think. But either way, he's given it a go in the Bentley. It's just not worked out for him this season.
It hasn't at all. Kelly, 9/10 of a second clear of PN Motorsport. So PN trying to come with him. Holty said he made changes for race 2. He's still, 3 seconds up the road from Green Wolfinator. Hitman is really charging Pepe down. Within a lap, he's took a second out of him at the moment. So going great guns is Pepe at the minute. It's Hitman, sorry. And PN trying to catch Kelly.
To say Pepe's not really gained time on Wolfinator. Wolfinator has just pulled away. Hitman is slowly creeping onto the back of his fellow Aston Martin driver. But like we said, the Aston Martin should be good round here, and it is showing that. Meanwhile, Kelly has got PN for company just behind him. So,
he's just pulled 2 tanks on PN, has Kelly, over the first sector. So Kelly just now starting to maybe get into that rhythm. Well, I think the thing for Kelly was he had Wolfinator and Hitman behind him early on because of the carnage happened at turn 1. He's possibly become unsettled and out of a rhythm, and now can sort of settle into that rhythm.
Yeah, and I think as well, like I said, the McLaren seems very, very good in that middle sector. As Louis gets back in, he's going to be several laps down though, but he will be able to score points if he completes the race. So for Louis, back into the session, but he will score points either way if he completes the race. He will score 13 place points. I can't remember off the top of my head what the point system was for 13th, but either way he will score some points.
He gets some points in, like you say. Daz is back out the pits as well, so he's obviously going to, he doesn't get a qualifying ban, and he will score some points, and you never know what will happen in this race. Stealth Sloth trying to get in on the back of DJ Phil. That's 1.3. I wonder if Louis is having a bit of internet trouble then. I wonder if that is why. He didn't start this race, so I don't think he can go down as a retirement, because he didn't actually take the race start. So I wonder if Louis is having a bit of problems getting back in. Either way, gap out front as Holty comes through set 2 is 3 seconds. Gap to Wolfinator and Holty is 3.7. Pepe to Hitman, as Hitman's all over the grass there, 2.6. So Hitman got a race win under his belt, and yeah, he's really getting a move on in this second race. PN back under a second to Kelly now, once again, as Shane is also just over a second to PN. So PN closing on Kelly and taking Shane with him.
I'll tell you what, that Lamborghini is incredibly loud. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
It's very, very loud. Compared to everything else, it's ridiculously loud.
I wonder if we're going to get the nice... Oh, Kelly, poor run through Sterling's. Here comes PN, not quite close enough, but a lot closer now with Shane. Just about to. I wonder if we get a loud Aston Martin V12 on the grid.
DJ Phil made a mistake. Stealth nearly made the same mistake, so Dean's getting a little bit closer to those two. But meanwhile, Kelly looking like he's having to defend from PN and Shane. Shane's flying through turn one, and it's going to go right around the outside of PN. PN defends the inside, but Shane, just better grip, better confidence, goes around the outside of PN Motorsport.
I know PN very well, and I know his driving style, and he would have seen Shane and gone, I want no part of this. I will follow you through, but I want no part of this because you are extremely quick compared to me. He did it to me on Sunday night in the F1. PN picks his fights, and he's very clever with his racing, really does pick his fights. And I think that's a good strategy for him. Try and stick with Shane as best you can and get that bit closer to Kelly, because if Shane tries to fight Kelly a little bit,
right
PN's
on the
there.
back of Pepe.
Right, to the front.
He's had a poor sector. He was 1.1 ahead of Hitman when they crossed the start-finish line, the first sector line, which is just after the third corner. But right now, Hitman is right on the back of Pepe. Keep an eye on that fight, Matt, while I will keep an eye on what's happening with Kayla and Shane.
Slough as well, 4 tenths on the back of DJ Phil, so he's going good guns at the minute as they come up towards Sheen Curve, through Clark Curve, and clearways then is Hitman and Pepe, Aston Martin, not teammates, so 2 independent drivers. And it's Pepe who comes up and over the brow of Paddock Hill. Down he comes now before he heads up towards Druids.
Shane's had a great run through the final corner. Sorry, Matt, he's had a great run through the final corner. He's right on the back of Kelly. He needs to nail turn one. He's going to go right around the outside of turn one. It seems to work with PN. He's going to go right around the outside. Towards turn two he goes. Kelly will hold the inside. Is Shane brave enough to go all the way around the side, outside of Kelly? He can't quite get the job done, and we'll have to feed him behind it. But Shane just seems to have so much confidence on the outside of turn 1 and 2.
He does indeed. Tried to look up the inside of Graham Hill. That didn't work. Hitman, though, just as we came away, went to make a move on Pepe and got that move done. So Hitman's up to third. Pepe now down to fourth. And Kelly, this is what I'm saying. If Kelly defends Shane hard, PN is right there. A clever driver, PN, to be right there to maybe capitalise.
DJ Fields at the moment.
Literally just got on board there. As Stealth goes through. Well, good timing, that.
Yeah, he's just had a wiggle and that was it. That's Stealth through. Can Stealth hang in there? Meanwhile, Kelly struggling middle sector as he's still trying to hold Shane back. But Shane just seems to have so much speed, so much confidence right now as Kelly's just trying to keep himself moving consistent. Meanwhile, Wolfinator is 6/10 within Holty.
He is within 6/10. Brings back in the pits, not sure why. Shane to the outside of Sterling's. You're not going to get it done around the outside. He tries to keep it there. Kelly's gave him great respect. And what a manoeuvre from Shane round the outside of Sterling's. Gets the job done. That is fantastic driving. Great respect from Kelly. PN tried to have a look at Clark Curve. Oh, and now through clearways. Kelly's touched the gravel. And here comes PN. Kelly, though, has closed the door. And PN's going to have to wait the next time around for that. Out front, though, it's half a second. Holty to the green Wolfinator.
Yeah, you just missed it. Wolfinator got right onto the back of Holty. Had just tapped the rear end of Holty, made the rear end step out, and Wolfinator waited for Holty to get going again and let him go. So they've lost time to Hitman now, and Hitman's coming. So these two are running out of time, and they have to focus on trying to keep it clean and consistent, make sure they have a great race at the same time, but also Hitman is coming, and we've just seen in race 1 he can win races. And here he comes. He's trying his very best to catch onto the back of him. PN Manuel has had a scruffy end of Sector 1 and is all over the place. Now Kelly can extend that gap, but Wolfinator is breathing down Holty's neck.
DJ Phil must have had a problem after Slough has passed him, because Dean was within is within 3.5 seconds of DJ Phil. So Dean trying to gain on DJ Phil here. And going well at the moment, but Wolfinator really on the back of Holty. And we saw this in race 1. He struggled to get past him in race 1. He did it in the pit lane. Louis back in, so that's great to see. He'll hopefully score some points in this race. It's points mean prizes at the end of the day, and that is what he can hope for. But for this Bentley against McLaren battle, once again, and it's really developed into these two sort of battling this season. This is not what Argy Bargy would have wanted, is these two having a good scrap at the end. And with Pepe running fourth, that gives him more points over Kieran Argent as well. Kieran's going to find himself that top 5 position, maybe hanging on to top 5 here, as Holty just hangs on to this place. Dean's pulled another 3/10 on DJ Phil.
Yeah, Shane's he's having a recovery drive, is Shane. He's trying to get himself still in this championship fight. If he can get himself on the podium here, he could possibly keep himself in this fight. But going to Mazzano, he needs to hope that Holty doesn't turn up and he has to win every single race, steal every single point to become champion. But it's going to take a lot of asking. Meanwhile, Wolfinator is in second.
You say this at the moment, Shane's going to score 17 points. Holty will score 25 at the moment. So is that going to be enough? Let me just do my calculations. While Wolfinator is all over the back of Holty as it stands at the minute, that'll be that result. And then if we quickly get rid of that and that, yeah, Holty is currently at the moment sat in the box seat to win this Drivers' Championship.
What, here and now?
Yep, because I've just figured out the thing. Yep. Holty hasn't got to outscore Shane by 12. Shane has got to outscore Holty by 12 or more.
I see.
So Holty can win the Drivers' Championship pretty much any way this result goes in this race. It's Holty leading from Wolfinator. Hitman's up to third. 5.5 seconds off the back of the leaders now. So he's coming. Pepe's in P4 with Shane now running in P5. Bit of damage to that car. KLF 6th. Has pulled a bit of a gap over PM. 1.2 that gap as they cross the line. It's actually back down to 7/10. Louis Allen comes out the pit slowly so that the leaders can come through. It's Stolz off DJ Phil. Then Dean Wasocki, who may have a bit of damage to that car. Bryn still in the pit lane with Daz Automatic, who Phil was actually, just on the grass as Daz was going past him. Louis, that car is in a tree on my screen, and there we go, we lose Louis. So I think he's suffering with internet problems. You'll like that when it pops up on your Streamlabs dad on the stream. Louis was in a tree.
I've seen that, yeah. I've seen that.
That's good, that.
But that reminds me, actually, because not long ago, Brands Hatch, a car did spin and went into a tree here at Brands Hatch.
British GT last year, yeah. British GT last year, I remember that. McLaren.
It was a McLaren. As speaking of a McLaren, Wolfinator is really pressurising the back of Holty right now. Holty doing everything he can. He's holding well to the pressure, but Wolfinator's just got so much pace around here.
Wolfinator in that middle sector, first sector, it seems to be Holty. He seems to get Paddock and Druids fine. The minute he goes onto that Grand Prix loop of Brands Hatch, the McLaren just seems to be more dominant than the Bentley. It's 0.4 of a second. Watch through Paddock and Druids. Look at the gap Holty sort of produces here. Just seems to start to stretch his legs a little, saying that as I'm speaking. I know absolutely nothing. I know nothing. Ignore me. Carry on, Wolfinator.
I think it's the final and the start straight really is where Holty seems to have the edge, but the problem is Wolfinator is just looking at the back of the Bentley, so he's struggling to possibly hit his braking points, hit his apexes, because he's got a massive gate Bentley in the way. So it's difficult for him to spot his lines, his positioning, just so that he can have a good run at him. But at the minute, Wolfinator is just having to be patient, wait his time, but eventually the pit window will open. Will he be able to do the overcut again? Or undercut, either way. I can't remember what it was.
Will it? No, they pitted at the same time, if I remember, and he just jumped him in the pit lane.
Oh, he's got a great run here.
Bryn's still in the pit, so Shane, if Bryn's still there, Shane will have to pit. I don't know if that's a retirement for Bryn. That will be his second retirement of the season. So we'll see if Bryn gets back going in this race. Either way, Wolfinator just clips the grass on the outside of Sterling's, just dropping back to Kelly PN. That's over. That's just about a second, just overlooked. So that gap pretty much maintaining themselves. And Kelly here.
It was GT World Challenge, Jamie says, not British GT. I knew he'd be in to correct you.
It was a green McLaren. I remember that. The Mercedes put him over the wall. I remember that one. I was watching it. I just remember shouting.
I thought it was a Porsche.
No, a green McLaren.
I thought it was a Porsche.
But either way, for Kelly here, knows he's on a similar pace to Pepe and will want to maybe try and close that gap. Pepe some 11 seconds, 12 seconds ahead of Kelly at the minute. Kelly's got PN right on the back of him at the minute. And this crucial for the championship, let's not forget, with no Smithy here tonight. Kelly flying the flag for Audio Sport on his own against East and West Motorsport, and with Daz not having a great race and Kelly trying to outscore PN a little bit, it's crucial points in that battle.
It is indeed. Meanwhile, Shane is really starting to bring that gap down to Pepe. He's just about to see the Aston Martin driver. It was the Jota McLaren, as Jamie corrected me. For some reason, I'm thinking of a Porsche. I don't know if there was a Porsche that went off there recently, but I'm thinking of Porsche. But God knows.
Either way.
I'm
Pit window
probably
open.
thinking of one in Portsmouth.
Yeah, possibly. The one that ended up in the crowd last week.
Yeah, it's a good thing there was no crowd, because there wouldn't be a crowd there. Well, there would be the crowd, it just wouldn't be moving.
Yeah, mental crash. Dean Wasocki, 1.2 off the back of DJ Phil. As PN just clips the grass up through Sheen Curve there. Watching back to Wolfenator. Hitman, look, he's in the background now. 3.5 seconds off the back of Wolfenator, who puts him about 4 seconds off the back of Holty. So it's good going from these boys at the moment. Don't forget, if you like what you see here at SimPlay Motorsport, hit that subscribe button and the bell to be notified when we go live or when a video gets posted. As Wolfenator looks up the inside, thinks better of it. Shane pulls the trigger, first man in the pits. Also, hit that thumbs up button if you like what you see, and don't forget to join PN Motorsport in the commentary box for the pro action tomorrow night, where Unorthodox will be on the circuit. Unfortunately, I won't be here as I'm travelling this weekend to Switzerland for work. And join no F1 on Sunday night. All the boys are at Donington Park for the touring cars to start the touring car season this Sunday. But me and Dan Davis will be back live next Wednesday for the season finale of the Pro-Ams at Misano. And could the championship be done going into this one? Holty just pushing it through Sheen Curve there. 3.2 Hitman now. Kelly starting to pull away from PM Motorsport. Dean's lost a bit of time to DJ Phil. Stealthsoft having a quiet race in this one at the minute.
I was right. Jamie did say there did end up a Porsche in the tree in Carrera Cup GP. So
yes.
I was right. I think it was in when the touring cars were there in the final round of the season, I think it was.
Yep.
So I knew I wasn't losing my mind. As Shane comes right out in this scrap. So right now, Holty has got to look at the back of the Lamborghini of Shane. Now Shane's going to struggle.
He's not going to want to yield the time here, Dan, is he? Because he's got a championship to try and keep hoping for.
No, but it could possibly use this opportunity to maybe back Wolfenator, back Holty up into Wolfenator. Obviously, drivers.
Holty wide. Holty wide. Here comes Wolfenator. Oh, and Holty just squeezes him as he shuts the door. But he's gone deep at the exit. There's Surtees there. There he's Hitman. Shane's had a big spin on his own. And Hitman's now in the background. Shane's had a big moment on his own through Surtees. That could be the end of the championship. Shane in the wall. He's returned to the pit lane. He's had a double retirement for the Tickle Pink boys. We'll have to wait and see. Shane has pitted though. But Wolfenator got a right run on Holty. Hitman is right there now.
He is right. I was just about to say about these two have been lapping in the 36.6s. Hitman on his own is in the 25s. So ignore the 30 bit. They've all been in the 26. Look at Hitman. He's flying at the minute. Right onto the back of the green Wolfenator. This is going to go down to the wire. Stealthsoft now into the pits, as is Shane and Bryn already there. But this is going to go down to the wire between these three. Who blinks first? That's the question.
Who does blink first? That is the question. It was Holty and Wolfenator in race one that pitted early, and they come out way behind the Hitman. Oh, who is going to do what in this race? That is the biggest question. Dean within 1.9 of DJ Phil. PN is now 1.8 behind Kelly. And with that Shane returning to the pits, that's going to put him a lap behind Kelly, PN, DJ Phil and Dean. That is more points for them boys in this championship fight. Pepe as well pulls the trigger in the pit lane. As this three-way scrap goes on, Kelly, is he going to box? No, he does not. PN, he's going to pull it into the pits. And here comes Wolfenator once again. Where is Hitman gone? He's just dropped back a little bit through Graham Hill.
Yeah, just as I come away, I was watching these guys for a while, and I think he might have possibly just gone wide in turn one, maybe touched the gravel and just lost a little bit of time to the leaders. But either way, he's got the pace. He's easily quick enough to catch the back of these two. Holty just seems to be struggling with overall race pace right now. The Bentley not looking good round here at all. And right now, the McLaren and Aston Martin looking at home right now.
Yeah. Does that favour De Silva tomorrow night? Well, could he win his first championship at the first time of asking? We'll wait and see. I don't think he can do it tomorrow night. I don't think it's mathematically possible. Wolfenator, though, looks like he's got a good run underneath Holty at Sterling's. Holty's going to have to defend that inside line. Hitman might be interested here, and just that Bentley grunt in a straight line is what's keeping Holty pulling in front of Wolfenator here. Wolfenator, he blinks.
He had to. It was taking too long for him to clear him, so he's into the pits. He needs to make
We've
sure
lost
that he has a good pit.
Shane.
That's it. Championship done. That's championship done.
So that is possibly a double qualifying ban for Tickle Pink, where the Lamborghini could be a fantastic choice.
Yeah, that's the shame there. Shane giving up just at the end there. It's all gone.
And there goes Bryn.
Gone.
Yeah, double retirement.
Not what we want to see, boys. Come on, you got to get to the end. But either way, it is what it is. But
sorry, I've just realised I've left it on Dean Wasocki here, who is he going to jump? I don't know how Dean has jumped Stealth Sloth, but Dean is going to jump Stealth Sloth a massive amount in the pit lane here. So Dean's done it. Wolfenator still in the pit zone. Kelly's running third place. Holty, Hitman, battle still raging on. Wolfenator's now away. Holty's just come through Westfields. So will Holty or Hitman blink this lap? Don't forget Hitman went twice as long last time around. Who is going to blink first out of these two now? DJ Phil into the pits.
Hitman just looks so planted. That Aston Martin just does not want to move at all. Normally you say that about the Bentley, but this Aston Martin around here just looks so good right now. I hope there's no Aston Martins in the Pro. I can't remember. Holty blinks.
No, don't think there is. Holty does blink. There's D Biggs if he races. Apart from that, there is none. Holty blinks. Holty's in the pits. Right, Wolfenator then is just at Surtees. Short pit lane at Brands Hatch. That's the thing you've got going for you. Phil was not parked in his box correctly there. That's just resetting. Not sure why. So Phil having a poor moment. So where's Dean Wasocki? He was only a second off the back of Phil. He is coming up towards Sheen Curve.
You say short pit lane, but also a short track.
Yeah.
That's the only other advantage here. Kelly's going quite long on this one. I think he's going to go as long as he possibly can and make sure he can get to at least a halfway stage. But Holty, he's got to be worried now because he's into the pits. I don't know what changes he has to done to the car, but it doesn't seem to give him massive advantage. But Wolfenator now into the final sector.
Yep, DJ Phil's just been dropped, so I don't know what Dean's done, but Dean has jumped Stealth Sloth and DJ Phil. Now to the Wolfenator, as Dan says.
Yeah, and there Holty has been released. Wolfenator exiting the final corner. Holty's right to the end of the pit lane. And I think Wolfenator might have done it. Yes, he has. He comes out. And Holty losing a place to the Wolfenator.
Oh, he's gone deep! Oh, he's gone deep! Oh, no! And here comes Holty up the inside. A gift again. Oh, Wolfenator just cannot seem to buy a win at the moment.
No, he cannot. But Hitman now, all that hard work that he's just done, Wolfenator, he's just thrown it away. Hitman goes that one lap longer. He's got one lap of clean air. He was right on the back of Holty. This could be interesting as Holty now is into the middle sector and Hitman has come to his box. This, Matt, is going to be very tight.
This is going to be very tight indeed, and Wolfenator has the work to do again, but it's this man. He went longer last time. He's gone longer again. What is KLF going to do? Him and Daz still to pit. And look at that. Daz, who's kept going in this race, has gained 2 places out of Shane and Bryn's retirements. Kelly stays out. Holty is coming up towards the Sheen Curve now with Wolfenator. Dean Wasocki got a massive jump on Phil and Stealth's off in this race. So I don't know what happened to Stealth. Hitman still in the pits. Holty coming down towards Clearways. Keep your eyes on Hitman's marker going green. Here comes Holty. Here comes Wolfenator. Into Clearways comes Holty now. Where is the green? Now it goes green. Here comes Holty. We go to the Hitman in terms of his pit exit. He's not off the Liberty yet. Holty's going to do him. Is the Wolfenator going to do him? Wait for that blue Aston Martin to emerge. And he emerges P3 after Kelly will make his stop.
Looks like it worked for him in race 1, but he didn't go long enough this time. I think he needs to go much longer and benefit that clean air. But either way, Wolfenator is back behind Holty. And Hitman's back behind Wolfenator. So as they resume, meanwhile, Kelly leads this race.
Kelly does lead this race, and him and Daz yet to pit then. So we'll have to see what these boys do going into this. 1.8 Wolfenator to Holty, 1.1 Daz. Hitman to green Wolfenator. Pepe's in 5th, currently in no man's land really at the minute. We're down to the 10 drivers. Louis Allen clearly suffering with lag. Bryn and Shane DNFing in this race, so that is a shame to see. But one thing you can be sure of is that the entertainment isn't finished here, because I'm telling you now, Dan, I think Hitman in this race is really pushing. Look, he's got the gap already under a second to the Wolfinator.
Yeah, and I think Holty's got those tyres into the window that he feels comfortable in, and I think his tyres just seem to fade in the Bentley around here. I don't know what it is. The Bentley's tyres doesn't seem good around here. Yeah. Maybe he suffers with too much understeer and the car just goes dead towards the end. Wolfinator just struggling to get back in the rhythm after going a little bit wide in the gravel and has lost major time, but Hitman is on the move. I think KLF, though, keep an eye on him, because he might be going long as he possibly can with clean air, with no one around him. Yeah. If anything happens between the top three, podium on the cards for KLF, but he has to just keep trusting his strategy.
Let's not forget Kelly here. He's got to try and jump Pepe, because he was way behind Pepe. He was about 7 seconds behind Pepe in terms of lap time on the track after he got past and clear, after Shane had pitted. So he's got to now try and gain on Pepe. Hitman within half a second of Wolfinator. So Kelly's plan here is first jump Pepe and see what happens to this top three. Holty, like you say, maybe them tyres just in a good window.
I've just been disconnected, so that's a good start.
We've also just lost... I'm sure we've just lost another driver. We've lost Stealth.
Oh, okay, so connections issues again here. ACC, the almighty game, is having problems. A bit like Project Cars.
Yeah. Now, he's had a retirement, because I did on PN stream just to the left of me see that Stealth was on the grass. Holty has just been on the grass. He's just clipped the grass. He's just clipped the grass again. So Holty, oh, that isn't Holty. That's DJ Phil getting out the way. Kelly in the pits. So Kelly now stops at his box. Now Pepe is just coming up towards the Sheen curve. There he is. So we know it's tight when they're at the Sheen curve if you're still in your pit box. Kelly down to fourth. Obviously the top three have gone through. Hitman right on the back of Wolfinator. So we're down to 9 drivers. Daz in the pits as well. We are down to 9. And for Daz, he's actually gained 3 places out of this because of the 3 retirements.
He has indeed. Where is Pepe? He's in the final corners. KLF is still not gone green. So Pepe will go on through. Can KLF catch him towards the end now? That is the question. He's now gone green, so he's not a million miles away from Pepe, but it is close. Holty, meanwhile, clearing DJ Phil as Wolfinator now onto the back. The Hitman's gone very, very wide on the exit of that corner.
And DJ Phil being shown the blue flags. Obviously, the drivers do not have to move out the way. DJ Phil's got his hazard on to his brake, his indicator onto the left-hand side, saying that he's staying left, I imagine. And for Hitman, he's lost a second to the Wolfinator here. Why? Tell me if I'm wrong, but is it me or is this Aston Martin just seem to be able to carry so much mid-corner speed through all these corners? It just looks like he's carrying so much speed through it.
He's just able to run the curves, and these curves aren't like they're uncomfortable to run, but if you set the car up right, you can run them quite hard. And I think that's the thing with Hitman. He's able to abuse these curves as best he can. And I think that the Aston Martin just seems the all-round more comfortable car. It's a short wheelbase compared to the 2 in front. They're a lot longer. And obviously front engine as well, so it's not losing too much grip in the rear. So the Aston Martin overall, it seems to be the better car in a race trim around here than the 2 in front. But at the minute, there's not much Hitman can do with it.
No, that's the problem. He seems to have stagnated at the moment. It seems to be a case of where to overtake. He's got no problem catching. It's where to overtake. Kelly 1.9 clear of PN. So that is pretty much as it was before the pit stops. He was about 12 seconds, I think it said a moment ago, to Pepe. So we'll see if Kelly can close Pepe down in this race and see what happens there. We're down to 9 runners. We've lost Stoff, we've lost Shane, we've lost Bryn. Louis Allen didn't take the start of this race. So that is 3 Lamborghinis on a qualifying ban at Misano.
Yeah. It's Hitman.
Bit of a wiggle.
He just had a wiggle through there.
Indeed, he did. Hold. Let's go to Pepe a minute. See much of Pepe. Where's Kelly in terms of sector times? 13.8. So Kelly's lost a bit of time after the pit stop to Pepe, but he's probably getting his tyres in a better window and getting his tyres in a much better sort of scenario at the moment Phil to Dean is 10 seconds. Daz is 4 laps down. Dean to PN is... Oh, it's quite a bit. PN's just gone through... he's on the GP bit. Dean's just gone through turn 1. And Wolfinator seemed a little wide on exit of Paddock Hill there, and that's allowed Hitman the chance to come right back at him. And look at Hitman on the brakes, really closing up to the back there.
He's getting really close to the back end of Wolfinator, and Wolfinator really just not gaining anything on Holty. But we think that Holty seems to struggle towards the end of his stint. So maybe Holty is back into a groove again with the tyres exactly where he wants them. But we'll keep an eye. As soon as he gets his tyres dirty or make a mistake, then Hitman will be Hitman and Wolfinator might be on the back of him.
Indeed, they might. So we'll see what happens here then. Let's get another poll up, I reckon, at the moment. Holty, Wolfinator, Hitman, Pepe, Kelly, PN. In fact, PN's within 7/10 of Kelly. Kelly. That's the foreign version of his name. Of Kelly. Now, so the Ferrari, is it just starting to come a little good, or is Kelly just taking his time getting his tyres up to the right pressures? Has he maybe just changed his pressures slightly for the second race? We'll keep our eyes on that battle, as Hitman is pretty much pushing that McLaren down the straight.
He is indeed, and Holty is just now lapped Dean. These two are now coming onto the back of Dean. I'm just sticking to this fight at the minute, and Hitman looks like he's got a great run out of the final corner. He looks to the outside of the Wolfinator, but he's unable to get close. But Wolfinator now staying in front, and I will answer that one for sure. Yes, indeedy. Let's go.
100%. Wolfinator then gaining on the back. There's Dean just in front. We saw Dean in race 1 get out the way of the leaders this time. He's just chose to just stay in front at the minute. So Dean, the Wolfinator's round.
Wolfinator.
He's gone a little wide at Graham Hill. He's put 2 wheels on the dirt, and he's just lost the rear of his car, and Hitman now through. And the minute Hitman clears Dean, obviously Dean well within his right. He's not defending the car. Hitman now gets through. And for Hitman, it's about can he catch the car in front. Kelly has pulled away from PN, although last sector PN seems to be far quicker than Kelly at the minute.
Yep, as Kelly just seems to be struggling at the minute by the listing. Maybe his tyre pressures are a bit doolally, but at the minute PN is not a million miles away from him. Any mistake and Kelly will lose out. But 2 fifth places at the minute for Kelly has been a
solid night's
run
worth
here.
of points. Yeah, solid night's worth of points.
For a man who said he wasn't looking forward to racing here, he's had 2 good scoring points at the minute. He's only losing out to the top 3 who seem very, very fast. And right now, Pepe is just being consistent, keeping his nose clean, and he's getting a solid P4. But Hitman right now, with clear air from Wolfinator, can he catch Holty? It was 2.2, it's now 1.5,
Yeah.
so Hitman is already coming for Holty.
The gap's coming down. He's really pushing hard now. Is Hitman. He's really got to be in his bonnet at the moment and really wants to take a double race win. It'll be Aston Martin's second here. It'll be his second here. And it'll do him wonders in his championship, because that'll really put him in just above Welsh here, really in a fight with Dean and Louis Allen, and maybe DJ Phil possibly looking at a top 10 depending on points next week, as well as putting him maybe in a fight with Dean and Louis Allen in the independence battle for top 3. So it wouldn't be bad for Hitman here. But at the minute, as it stands, Holty is going to be crowned your champion with no points for Shane. Holty will be crowned your champion. He's just got to make sure that he scores 14 or more points over Shane in this race. Oh, Hitman, a lot of curve through Shane. Lot of curve.
Really attacking the car, really attacking the track, and the Aston Martin seems to be responding. It seems to be doing everything that he asks us to do. PN, meanwhile, is still just creeping on the back of KLF. So there's still that good little scrap between those two at the minute. But right now, Holty is trying his very best to keep the lead over Hitman.
9/10 of a second, 21 minutes. You've pretty much got just under the first race to keep the gap to Hitman. We've seen Holty defend well around here. We've seen Wolfinator struggle to get past most of the evening. So it's now a case of can he keep Hitman behind? Keep our eyes on that PN Kelly battle as well.
Hitman runs a little bit wide. Just so you know, Matt, I can also hear a slight echo in my headset, so I think that's probably sorted now. Yep, that's gone. So either way, Hitman has now got up to the back of Holty. Now he needs to think of a plan of attack.
Yeah.
So right now, like you said, Wolfinator tried anything and everything to find his way past Holty and didn't succeed. I think Wolfinator's lost even more time. He's currently 8.7 behind when he crossed the beam, and he's coming towards the slip now. It's 9.3. Wolfinator's really loose. He's got damage to the front end of his car.
What's he done? Do we know? Or is
I
it
have no idea, but I can find out. Meanwhile, PN was within 3/10 of KLF. I will investigate what has happened to the Wolfinator, but he's got major damage to the front end of that car.
So here's a little thing. Dean was coming through Graham Hill Bend. Wolfinator was following Dean through. Did Wolfinator just get too hot on the brakes and clip the back of Dean, I wonder? Is that what got the back end out and allowed Hitman through? So Hitman, in all sorts of bother here, Pepe has actually pulled the gap 4 seconds down. 22 minutes left for, 19 minutes for Pepe to gain 22 seconds. Game on here for Pepe at the moment as PN still under a second to KLF, and KLF here, 2 cracking races. Hitman, 2 cracking races. He's got the gap half a second to Holty. So he is right on the back of Holty here while Danny's investigating what happened to Wolfinator. And at the moment, it is going the way.
Oh, he's lost it all on his own. He lost it all on his own. So into turn 2, into the hairpin, then down towards the left-hander. Turn 3, you could probably tell me the name of it, but turn 3, Graham Hill, he just hits the curb and just lights up the rear end, spins the car around and straight into the wall, square onto the front end, and that is it. Dean has had nothing to do with it whatsoever. It's Wolfinator's mistake all on his own.
There we go then. So Wolfinator's mistake all on his own. Hitman is right up the chuff of Volty. He's pushed him pretty much through Sterling's, and now down towards Clearways we come for the 27th time. It is an almighty run for Hitman. He's looking for back-to-back race wins. He's looking for the argy-bargy double. They have dropped Wolfinator. It does not seem to be going Wolfinator's way at the moment. And for Hitman here, he has got to try and get past this tank of a Bentley. And this is going to be no easy feat. But Dan, 18 minutes left. Game on for Hitman here.
Yeah, definitely so. I think if anyone can get past Holty, it will be Hitman.
Oh, he's a bit deep.
He's got a much tighter line now. He's got a much better line as Hitman's right on the back. But Holty is able to just hang on to that. But it seems like the Aston Martin just has better cornering, better turning, while the Bentley can able to just pull enough gap over the Aston Martin. But one mistake from Holty and Hitman will pounce.
Hitman will pounce, and here he comes down the straight. Dan Pilgrim's drop before coming up Hawthorne's Hill. And that Bentley just seems to have the legs over Hitman on a straight line. But it's this middle sector and final sector where Hitman is doing all of his work. And look at the run he gets through these next couple of corners. Through into Westfields they come. It's now through Dingledale here as you come up towards the Sheen curve. This is where he really gets a lot of momentum coming through. Holty on the brakes. Look at the amount of curb difference that they both take. And now the Hitman, is he going to look up the inside? No. Doesn't think of it at the moment, stays behind Holty, and is doing some wonderful things here to just try and distract Holty in this race lead. 17 minutes left in this race. It's a two-way fight. Holty, either way, is going to be crowned champion, but he wants to be crowned champion in that style.
He will be indeed. Meanwhile, Kelly is still struggling with PN. PN got really close into turn 2, right on the back of KLF. KLF actually had to think to defend from PN. So PN is still pressurising the back of KLF right now, but those two having a fantastic scrap right now for 5th and 6th place. Good points either way for everybody who's still finishing. Pro-Am boys, you need to step it up, because right now these boys are going to score decent points, while the rest of you are just sat back, chewing it and rossing. Obviously, some of you may have good reasons to, but others, where are you? Where are you?
Battles to be had, no doubt, going into next week. RG's lost a lot of points. Smithy's lost a lot of points. Stealth and Welshie have lost a lot of points. So it's all to play for next week. And Hitman, he's going to really gain some points in this one for that fight down the bottom end of the table. Obviously, Louis Allen, disconnection, internet problems. We saw he was sat in a tree at one stage. So he really is. We've not seen like that bad since Jamie Brazier. Hitman as well, Dan. Right on the back here as he comes through Westfield, now into Dingledale. Let's just drop down to PN after Sheen Curve. Up the hill they come. This is where Hitman gets carries a lot of speed. Not close enough at the minute.
And just on the back, KLF seems to be so much better in the final corner and the first sector, and KLF just having to think about defending turn 2. But PN is there. He's really starting to hassle the back of KLF, but seems to lose it all in the middle sector. Back to the leaders.
Yeah, so Kelly leading from PN, that is for P5 and 6. DJ Phil has the gap down to 2.2 seconds. Holty trying to just break the toe of Hitman down the straight. Here is the Bentley, then the Aston Martin. Holty completely misses the apex a little bit, runs a little more curb on the outside than what Hitman does. Hitman thinks of a late dive. Holty has the door shut. So it is good defensive and attacking driving this, and clean as well. It's great racing. Really is.
I think that's the problem here at Brands. You do need to have at least a good edgeway over the other driver to get the job done.
Yeah.
And right now, Hitman just did not have the run into turn 1 that he probably would have wanted. But either way, it's still a great fair scrap between these two.
I think the problem for Hitman here is he looks like he's compromised a bit of his straight line speed. You just look down the straights, Holty just looks to stretch his legs. Then watch through these next section of corners. Through Hawthorns, he gets a bit closer to the back of him. You come into Westfield, he gets a little bit closer to him once again. Now there's a bit of a stretch where it's flat out, and Holty can just use that Bentley to just pull up the hill a little bit. Gap opens up coming into Sheen Curve.
Oh, Hitman just touched the grass ever so slightly. I'm stuck on the helicopter cam, so I can see the cars from above. And Hitman got very close to the grass, but he's got the great run through here into penultimate corner. Holty has to defend for the final corner. Hitman can set him up, ready for turn 1. So Holty has to defend the inside, and Hitman not able to get the drive, and Holty hangs on in now once again.
And this is the problem, not because now he's had to back out of that one, maybe not get the run through clearways he wanted. That's compromised his run into Paddock Hill Bend, and you have to really be clever at Brands Hatch. Is clearways the way to do it? Maybe a thinker setting him up for the inside, tuck underneath and get the job done at Paddock. But once again under braking, that Aston Martin is right on the rear bumper of the Bentley, coming down the hill towards Graham Hill Bend. Holty is having to defend each way till Sunday from Hitman, who is really putting the pressure on. Kelly now, though, 1.6 clear of PN Motorsport, so not sure what's happened there. DJ Phil has the gap down to Dean Wysocki to 1.4 seconds. So DJ Phil starting to gain on Dean. We'll stay with his fight on the front while we keep our eyes on the timing screen.
Well, it's nothing major. PN just starting to lose a little bit of pace to KLF. That's all it is. Kelly just so much stronger in the middle sector, but then PN drags it all back in the final and first sector. So that's all that's happened there. PN not really lost any time. He's just not able to keep it consistent at this stage. But Kelly is doing a very good job of keeping him behind. Meanwhile, Phil is on a run to try and chase Dean and get past Dean for 7th place. To be good points for these guys.
It will be indeed. Just go back to these two who's coming down. Pilgrim's drop now, and DJ Phil just coming onto the back of Dean. Dean's not had a bad race, neither's DJ Phil. A bit poor from Phil in race 1, but a good race 2 at the moment. Dean as well, solid 9, a 10th and a 7th at the moment. Phil a 13th and an 8th, so not bad points for these two down the bottom end of the championship. Phil right on the back of Dean Wysocki then as they come up towards the Sheen Curve. Dean just a little wide, but at the minute just able to keep his Bentley just in front of Phil. Phil, it's a little dodgy on the brakes here. He seemed to avoid Dean as if Dean was coming to a complete standstill. Down towards clearways now. DJ Phil versus Dean Wysocki. Phil looks up the inside, and again, I think another trait here. Dean's Bentley again, just in a straight line, seems a little quicker than Phil's McLaren at the moment.
It does indeed, but obviously the McLaren were gaining all that time in the middle sector. Meanwhile, Kelly has lost a little bit more time to PN this lap. He's started to creep on the back of him. Keep an eye on the leaders. Hitman's not had the best of laps this lap.
DJ Phil's braked so late. How he's trying to go around the outside of Dean here, I'll never know. He's nearly made it work as well, but nearly sent one into the back of the rear end of Dean Wysocki into Druids, and now gets a good run out of Graham Hill, did he? I think he maybe just had a wiggle and a bit of a snap coming out of Graham Hill. He's lost all momentum, but Phil really attacking Dean Wysocki here.
Once again, Hitman's been the closest he's ever been into the final sector. He has a great run in the penultimate corner. He needs to set himself up for the final corner. Holty now trying everything he can to keep that Aston Martin behind him, but the more and more he starts to let the race go on, the more and more Holty will learn every single move that he will make. So right now, Holty has got an answer for everything at the minute, and Hitman is running out of time. Wolfinator, meanwhile, has just dropped right off the pace. He has nothing to answer with the guys in front. so he's going to have to settle for third place.
Him and Pepe really in a no man's land at the moment. KLF has got PM Motorsport right on the back of him. So we've got 3 battles, all within 0.4 of a second. We've got Dean and DJ Phil having a good scrap. We've got Kelly and PM. We've got Holty and Hitman. And was that DJ Phil looking to make a move on Dean? No, he just looked like he got a bit of a better run. Dean's got a little wiggle through clear waves, and DJ Phil kind of barges him out of the way a little bit. And DJ Phil is through.
Daz has let the leaders through. Daz has moved right out the way. He was on the grass, allowing the leaders to go through. Hitman within 0.2 now, going through sector 1, so he has got a little bit more closer to Holty. But this is where the Aston Martin is so much stronger. As Matt's headset's doing something weird. But right now, Hitman is right on the back of Holty. But again, there's nowhere for him to get past. Kelly's gone wide. Kelly's gone wide in the final corner. PN's got to run.
Here he comes, then, PM Motorsport. He's just got that front end tucked underneath KLF. Kelly gives him the room and respect. And what a fight this is. Does Kelly just outbreak PN? You bet your bottom dollar he does. That's why he's the hardest defender at SimPlay Motorsport. Meanwhile, Hitman right on the back through clear waves compared to Holty. Did he just have to get out of it a little bit there as he was drifting wide? I think he may have done. And that now has put Holty again in a position where he can just cruise a couple of tenths forward.
He had a bit of understeer. He was struggling to get the front end to turn in, and he's just ran wide. So, yeah, Hitman just struggling now, just to possibly the front end tyres just not wanting to comply and make that mistake. Meanwhile, DJ Phil has pulled away from Dean, and that's Dean's race pretty much done. They got Pepe breathing behind them now, so they're going to have to watch out for that one. But Hitman, he needs to start out smarting Holty here, because Holty has just got him covered. He might have to do something that just catches him out of, catches him by surprise, and he doesn't expect.
He does indeed. Holty gains another 0.3 over him through sector 1 as they come down through sector 2. This is where Hitman is a lot more stronger than that Bentley, and as the race goes on, the Bentley's tyre is dying, because look at the speed through Westfields. He's gone from 0.7 to 0.3 in the middle sector alone. Here comes Hitman. Got to set him up for this final couple of corners, surely, as down through into Sheen Curve they come once again. Holty a little wide on the exit of Sheen, now into Sterling's. Hitman just driving a racing line, tries to tuck underneath. That'll be the outside line though of Holty. Holty's happy to force him wide here, and look, he's telling Hitman, go to the right, because you ain't coming down the inside. Hitman now though a little more patient, no understeer this time. Has he got it tucked underneath? No, he just couldn't get on the power early enough.
Above, he had, actually from looking above, he had a wiggle mid-corner. He had a tiny snap and had to correct it, and that's what's happened. But Holty really struggling now, as I think what he really needs to do now, Hitman, is just nail the final sector, get as close as he dares to Holty, follow him into turn 1 and attack him in turn 2. That is his real bet right now. Meanwhile, KLF still defending from PN, and PN can't find a way through at the minute. Meanwhile, Dean is about to get lapped by Pepe, who is currently P4. Oh, he's already been lapped by Dean, sorry. He's now about on his way to a lap at DJ Phil.
And I'll tell you what, we have to take our hats off tonight, Dan, for the defensive driving. The moves that drivers have pulled off have been quality, but we have to take our hats off to the defensive driving of the likes of Kelly and Holty tonight, because it's been fantastic to watch.
Oh yeah, definitely so. These guys have put on a fantastic show. Worries me for the Pro tomorrow night, but either way, whatever happens in Pro-Am seems to be the complete opposite in Pro. So if they've had a mare, then Pro tends to be quite sensible and clean. If it's been rarely clean in Pro-Am, oh, it's Hitman's gone wide.
He's gone very wide. He's onto the grass. He's got to drive through. Oh no, Hitman! Track limits. Too many track limits. He's got a drive-through penalty with 6 minutes to go. And does that gift Wolfinator a P2? Oh, you cannot believe it.
It will do, but how much will it affect him? How close will Pepe? He's gone wide now. He's gone wide in turn 1. Will Pepe be possibly attacking him towards the end of his drive-through? Who knows? I mean, it will be close.
Yeah.
I think it's into the end of. He's into turn 3, and where's Pepe? Probably not then. Pepe's just
Pepe's
a little too far back.
He's only at Sterling's. 0.3 of a second though. Ferrari to McLaren. PN Motorsport on KLF 900. Here comes PN, and he's really now trying to get on the back of Kelly once again. And Kelly, we say it week in, week out, he's one of the toughest guys to get past at SimPlay Motorsport, and he has proven to PN tonight why this is to be the case. PN though, good pace from PN tonight. Great pace.
Yeah, great indeed. PM's been very consistent tonight, and a very good drive from KLF as well. Meanwhile, Daz is just joining these guys at the minute as well, so he's joining the fight. But right now, that's going to be your main fight now towards the end. KLF versus PM Motorsport, because Hitman has lost all his opportunities to do the double, and Holty now just has to bring it home. Meanwhile, Wolfenator still losing time. So Holty's got it in the bag.
Car 666, Hitman coming towards the final corner. So will he coming into his drive-through penalty as Kelly once again just has PN on the back of him? What's happened?
Holty had a wiggle, had a mistake, but Hitman's right there, and he doesn't want to make contact here because obviously he'll have to think about doing his drive-through, and he thinks better of it. But as Holty's gone a little bit wide, Hitman's got the undercut, and this is what he should have done ages ago, but he's not able to do it.
Oh, is Holty gone?
He's gone wide.
He's gone so deep there. Holty will realise that he has a drive-through penalty as well, and he has to serve it this lap, otherwise it will turn into a stop-go. Holty's trying to go around the outside of Graham Hill. Holty, make sure you don't get a drive-through penalty, my friend. Hitman fighting for nothing here. Holty maybe would have just been better off letting Hitman go there.
Yeah, he would have. He just has to let him go, or else the Hitman will get a penalty. I think it's like, what, 130-second time penalty for failing to serve a drive-through.
I think it becomes a stop-go and then a 130-second if you haven't done that at the end. So I think it goes from drive-through to stop-go to 130-second time penalty. So
PN's gone wide.
Yeah.
PN's made a mistake, and that's allowed Daz to get past his teammate.
Oh, he's in the wall! He's in the wall! He's bounced off the wall. So
Luckily
that will put to bed the fight with KLF, and we are being robbed of great entertainment here. Being robbed of it. Although it's not done.
Going.
It's not done. Hitman could charge on the back of Wolfenator.
I really don't know why Holty's fighting the Hitman. He just might as well just let him go. Hitman into the final corner. There he goes. He goes to serve his drive-through, and just pushing the track limits one too many times.
Wolfenator breaks in the final corner. He breaks into clear waves as Hitman is halfway down the pit lane. 3 minutes 40 left. I think this is how it's going to finish. Pepe's nowhere near, so Pepe will not get any position. Wolfenator is gone. Hitman is still on his limiter. He's off it now. It'll still be a podium for Hitman, but it won't be the podium he possibly wanted. Pepe clear of DJ Phil now. Kelly well clear of PN. DJ Phil, just on the grass a little bit there. Steady, Phil. You don't want to mistake this late in the race. As Dean is only 6 seconds behind. Dean on the grass as well. So all these cars are seeming to struggle at the end of this race, Dan.
Yeah, all these guys just, I think the hour race starts to really affect some of the drivers and lose their concentration, and that's it. Push one too many limits. Hitman just obviously really tried his best to catch on the back of Holty, and then one too many track limits, and he was done and dusted. But that's pretty much the end of tonight's race. There's not much really left to go unless Kelly makes a mistake, but he has got Daz harassing the back of him earlier on, so it might be something there, but realistically, that is pretty much tonight's race done. And Holty is going to be the first champion we crown here tonight. So no matter what happens, he needs to finish the race, and he is champion. Yep,
so he gets he won the Constructors with Argent last week, and Holty is going to take his first ever SimPlay Motorsport Championship here in terms of a driving on his own, should I say. It's been a fantastic season for Holty. He's been the man to beat, Dan, this year. We can't take anything away from him because he has been the man who's just had all the answers all season.
He has indeed, even though he's not been the quickest overall most of the time. Wolfenator and Shane have been the ones that have been quicker at times, but the Bentley does what it does. It keeps it consistent, keeps it in place, and just the raw size and the boatly as I like to call it, just the size of it, it just seems to be in your way. It also just seems to barges you out the way into the pit lane as well, so that you get rear end damage and you go on and win the race. So good old Bentleys, you know, good old Volkswagen.
Gordon Ramsay's just called. He's ran out of salt in his restaurant.
Yeah, well, we know. race win robbed, to be fair.
Either way, there'll be no Bentley on track challenging for the championship tomorrow night, which is a shame. I'm absolutely devastated. Really, I'm gutted about that one. But Holty has done a job all season. He leads 10 seconds clear of the Green Wolf.
There's no Bentleys.
No Bentley in the title challenge tomorrow.
Oh, I thought you said no Bentleys at all tomorrow.
No Bentley.
Where's Gary one?
Yeah, Gary's there. Green Wolfenator. Dan, Wolfenator, you know, we're coming into the final weeks now. in the, I think we're on the last lap of the race, or we're about to be. He's come good this second half of the season, hasn't he, Wolfinator? He seems to have a slow start.
Yeah, I think it's just, again, a lot of these guys having to learn what our boys are like and how they drive mainly, and then learning and adapting to how these guys race. So the new blood definitely know how to race on this game. They have the experience, they have to practice on here, so they know what they're doing, but it's just then down to learning how they race. And I think now Wolfinator gets a rough idea of how these boys do race and how they interact, and I think it's going to be an interesting end to maybe next season. Could be a lot closer fight for all we know. As I think Wolfinator has found his feet. The man to keep an eye on for the next season is possibly Dennis and Hitman. We'll see how they get on next season, but it's going to be a big shake-up either way. Oh, yeah, nearly hitting Holty there.
I think they did make door-to-door contact there. Well, that would have been a turn up for the Bucks at the end of that. I think Pien's had a problem because it said a moment ago he's 1.3 off the back of Kelly. He's now 6.4. So I think Pien has had a moment somewhere.
Do you think also Holty's been a bit forceful there? I think he might have been a bit forceful.
Possibly.
Don't really need to be pushing that hard towards the end of this race. But either way, Holty into the final sector.
Yeah, into the final sector. And for the final time tonight, we're so close to the end. We're going to be crowning your Season 1 ACC champion. He slows down to do a few, bit of a burnout, bit of a flash at the end. And Holty 009, shaken, not stirred, is your Season 1 champion on ACC for Pro-Am. A one-time champion in himself. Wolfinator crosses the line for second place. What could have been for this man, Hitman? It was going so well until his drive-through penalty. He will cross the line for third place. Pepe, quiet race too, really, for Pepe. It all happened at the beginning for him. Quiet race too at the end.
That's nice to see. Green Wolfinator comes up alongside Holty. Congratulations, gives him a flash and says well done on the title. So congratulations to Holty. Hitman cuts onto the back of him as well. And I think another congratulations between top three there, all running together. That is nice to see between them lot. But Pepe into the final corner. He's had a quiet race, but he comes home with a solid P4 for him. And good race from him. But the top three there, giving the respect to their newly crowned Pro-Am champion of Holty, who is your season champion here. DJ Phil crossing the line in 7th, and KLF now just following the rest of the guys home. I think he's got Dean. No, he's got Daz just up ahead of him, but Daz coming to the line. He will finish and score points here, and KLF bringing up the rear as well as Dean and Pien. As Dean peels to the pits, no, he gets out of the way of Pien, but congratulations to Holty. Top three again, running with one another at the front of the pack there. Brilliant race from all these guys. It's been fantastic for these guys in the Pro-Am. And that is it. That is your driver crowned, but also there's still many positions still to play for. Second, third, all those places. Wolfinator is catching Shane, and Shane obviously not finishing this one. Wolfinator can get a lot closer to him. Possibly ahead, maybe.
You say Wolfinator can get a lot closer to Shane. Wolfinator is ahead of Shane. It is Holty then, who is your driver's champion for Season 1 here on ACC. What a job for him. Hopefully we can get him in the party for a quick chat. First of all, though, your standings as it stands. Holty champion. It's Wolfinator, 6 points clear of Shane. Shane will be on a quali ban for race 1 next week. So that's not what Shane wanted. Pepe is now up to 4th ahead of Argent. He's not far off the back of Shane. Kelly only 20 points behind Argent in P5, so he as well isn't far off getting himself in the mix. Daz Automatic 7th, losing out. That's probably where he's going to finish now this season. Looks a bit too far behind Kelly to do any damage there. PM Motorsport is P8 in the standings. Stealth Sloth is P9 on 169. DJ Phil catching Stealth Sloth. DJ Phil jumping both Smithy and Bryn with tonight's result. Dean Wasocki now not a million miles off the back of Bryn as he pulls ahead of Louis Allen. Hitman up to 15th ahead of Welsh. Leon Fernie 17th and Dennis Newman in 18th place. Constructors looks like this. It was all done last week for A&H. They are clear of Tickle Pink. Tickle Pink really invite East West and Audio Sport into a three-way fight for second place next week. Austrian Racing Club are nearly independent champions from the racing group of Pepe. MC Motorsport is P7. That's a good one racing. P8. So MC Motorsport dropped down behind Racing Group. Lone Ranger Racing pull away from Team Oro Titan. JWB Racing Esports 2 ahead of JWB Racing Esports 1. And we are joined, Dan, by your Season 1 ACC champion. We have lost and had a connection error with Dan, so I don't know if Dan can still hear us. Hopefully he can. Your poll for Driver of the Day is up. Get your vote in for Driver of the Day now. But Halty, probably not the way you wanted to end the season with Shane bowing out in that style, but you are the champion.
No, but I wasn't expecting that. My heart was in my mouth and I seen all the carnage at the start, and then I managed to get through with no damage for once. I seen Shane go off in the background, and then I was behind first and second, and I think it was Bryn and Daz, I think.
Yeah.
And then they had a bit of a coming together, and then I had to get in front and I just had to go. But hats off to Wolfinator and Hitman. It was pushing me, for about 50 minutes in that race.
Yeah. Good pace from them two tonight. You just seem to have the bigger car and on a narrow track.
Yeah, I just had to try and make that Bentley even wider, especially when Hitman was coming at us. But no, it's probably like one of the best races and one of the longest races I've had on here.
Champion, first one at SimPlay. You've been around for a while. Obviously, we raced with each other in a previous league that shall not be named. But you finally sort of broke that duck, really. You've always kind of been there in Pro-Am in seasons before, never managed to cross the line, but you've done it this season. Shame we can't really make it a Bentley double, isn't it, for championships?
Yeah, it's a shame, really, that. And